That's.
But I'm someone slip. I apologize.
He's ready. All right, let's do it. Let's go here. Let's get live. Let's go. Create live. All right. So it'll bring us in, and actually, so we're good here. We just don't have anybody on yet, probably because we were a little delayed, and then they'll come in.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of. Did I miss it? Did I miss it?
Did I miss it? When's it going? What do we got here? Yeah, it'll come in. Are active now? Let's go. Not go live. Go live. Connecting. All right, they'll come in. Well, up to 3, dude. We're up to 4. We're killing it. Okay. What up, what up? What up, IG? We're here, LOWBOY Motorsports, Mesa, Arizona. We've got Todd, the man, the myth, the legend. We've got maybe a offline over-under on F-bombs dropped. What do you think? What's your over-under?
11 at least.
11.
11. It's a thing.
Then I'm gonna go. Maybe I'll go 13.
Perfect.
he's gonna go 11.
I don't know what the VIG is.
And I'm gonna go on. The VIG. Yeah, the plus or minus the buy-in takes 180 to make 100 on the VIG on whether or not we can do an F-bomb over/under. But I'm gonna go 6 F-bombs. He's going 11, and we'll see what happens.
I mean it in the best and most honest way possible.
Yeah,
I promise.
Okay. So we have a whole whopping 4 on YouTube. We're working on IG. So we're going to do a shop tour just like normal. Thanks for tuning in to the C10 Talk Builder Series. Again, we're going to be over here at LOWBOY Motorsports, and we're going to do a shop tour, and then we will do some Q&A for Todd. So I've got a few questions. You guys probably have a few questions. I think he has a couple of his buddies out there that are going to want to chime him up. And Sarah, now do you know Sarah Ferry? Because she thinks somebody's big sexy, and I think she must be talking about you.
Sarah's awesome.
Okay.
Sarah and Kevin.
Nice work, Sarah. He likes Kevin too. All right, so we got Herrera Co. We got Danielle. What's up, Danielle? You got your stickers. We got some peeps. So we're up to 40. So let's do this. Let's start our live tour. Cheers. It's Friday. What is it? The 23rd? All right, because I know the 29th.
22nd. Math.
Speaking of that, you grew up here.
I actually grew up in western Montana.
Yeah, but you so...
I grew up in Missoula, Montana, born and bred. I moved down here when I was 10 with my father, or my mother, stepfather, sister.
Okay, your mother, stepfather, sister, so that's the same as me. I moved here with a mother and stepfather.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Yeah, I grew up over off of 27th Avenue in Camelback.
Oh, so was that Camelback High?
No, I went to Cortez.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Freshman, sophomore year, I went to Cortez High. And then I moved over here my sophomore year. End of my sophomore year, we moved off of McClintock and Southern, and I finished my sophomore year at McClintock High.
Yeah, right there.
And then I moved back to Montana my junior, senior year. And then when I got out of high school, I went right into the Army for several years. You went back to, your dad was still in Missoula? Yes. Well, my dad and my family, aunts and uncles, all that stuff.
Yeah, they're still up there, some of them?
Yes, sir.
A little fact about Missoula. First, I just found this out. A little fact about Missoula, Montana. First of all, it's growing like crazy. Every California guy in the world wants to move there.
Yeah, we hate all the California
everybody in Montana. People in Montana hate people from California more than people from Arizona hate people from California.
Right.
Sorry, Californians. Stay there. What up, Robbie V?
Don't suck.
Yeah, don't suck. Stay in your own state. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. That might even get its own F-bomb. But I just found this out the other day. I did post this, and I highly recommend if you're our age, and honestly, even if you're not, if you just like cool culture, the Beastie Boys story. That dropped on Apple TV, unfortunately. I don't know if they're going to put that out and when we will be able to get a hold of it, not on Apple TV. But the first concert that they ever did for License to Ill was in Missoula, Montana.
I did not know that.
Yeah. I didn't know it either. It's like, are you kidding me? And it was obviously a frat party type college because Missoula is a college town for you guys.
Well, back then, Missoula was between trucking, college, and the tree paper industry.
Yeah.
And then in the mid-'90s, early mid-'90s, the paper industry really shut down a lot of people. I mean, you had career people working in those pulp mills and lumber factories. So now it's a trucking industry in a college town. That's how it survives.
It's a lot like Flag, really, if you think about it.
It's a lot like Flag. When I get real homesick, I actually go to Flag.
Oh, yeah.
Hastings and stuff like that.
You got the freaking railroad running right through there. And
just a little bit slower pace of life.
Yeah. Yeah,
it'll always be home.
So if you guys are from Montana, that's a little known fact for you. Beastie Boys, Licensed to Ill, Montana, Big Sky, I Love You. Did you have to sing that song as a kid? No? For real? For real? We had to sing that song all the time.
Well, my parents kept me in a box.
Montana, Montana, and it's Big Sky, I Love You. And the little metal arc, yellow metal arc, and then the flag had that, or the guy with the freaking thing.
And everybody cussing about the Mennonites.
So I moved here in 86.
I moved here in 85.
Yeah, cool.
84 and 84, yeah.
86, right in Mesa. I moved from a town of 6,000 people to a town of 235, or a city of 235,000 people, and that was culture shock.
For sure. Go from school with a graduating class of like 25 to a graduating class of
800. Yeah. Another funny story, and then I'll stop boring you with Mike. So if we moved here at the same time, and I've told this recently on the pod, but OP was huge, right? Old school Levi's, 501, Avia shoes, and OP was so popular in 1986 when I moved here.
Jimmy Z.
But I moved here and I didn't know about that stuff.
Oh shit!
Because I was 4 years behind. Because what happened in 1986, in 1985 in Arizona, happened in 1984 in California. Well, for California, because California was so cool back then, it took that long to get to a place like Montana. There wasn't social media. So when I moved here to Mesa, there was Miller's Outpost. And I'm like, dude, OP's on sale, 501s are on sale, Avias are on sale, all the cool shit's on sale, Mom. First day of school, I'm wearing OP corduroy shorts. I'm not lying.
You look like the gym teacher's son.
I'm not lying, dude.
He just wants to show his legs.
You see that freckle? There's a freckle. I remember that because dude, that was 7th grade. That's how traumatizing that shit was. That was me in junior high. Well, everybody else was wearing the Jimmy Z Gotcha shit that was down to here.
I remember my mom wouldn't buy me the Jimmy Z stuff or the Quicksilver stuff because it was a little expensive.
Well, and you're from Montana.
Right.
She didn't know. She's like, you don't need that shit.
I'm from Montana. My mom actually made a lot of my clothes.
Exactly.
But she let me...
The sugar bags or the beat bags.
Right.
Dude, I ain't lying. We ain't making that shit up.
But we ended up getting I found a pair of black Jimmy Z's with the Velcro on them. Yeah. They were super baggy. Perfect. My mom's, they're too baggy. Threw them in the dryer for like 9 rounds. And
Anybody else have some Jimmy Z's? What do you got? I saw some dudes in there that had to have some Jimmy Z. Let's see GMC Texas, dude. He's my boy. He always comes in. Sick Monty. Did you get that freaking Monte Carlo fired up and piss off all those neighbors? What do you think about that? I posted it up on IG about that guy that the neighbors are giving him gas money so he'll take that freaking loud truck out of the neighborhood. I thought of you. Davey Brooks, of course. So Davey, you know Davey? Davey's the Arizona Yuma guy.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, he had some Jimmy Z. Chris Cross, freaking...
Mark's in there with his
wickety whack. R.I.P. Chris Cross. Jimmy Z. British Knights, Reebok pumps. Reebok pumps are tight. I never had the British Knights though. What was the other one that was? They had the green shoes. They weren't British Knights. They were.
Well, Airwalks back then.
Oh yeah, Airwalks were tight. Oh, we got Bowie. No, I don't even know. All right, let's
British Knights.
British Knights.
We're going way back, man.
Let's do shop tour real quick, and then we'll get to some Q&A. So we've got we got some people in now. So we're chimed up. We're ready to rock and roll. Save your questions if you would. Do kind of as we are walking around with the shop tour, because Todd's not going to look at the questions. I'm not going to look at the questions. So save your questions. We'll do a quick shop tour of what's going on around here, and then we'll probably crack up another beer, and then we'll get into the Q&A. Okay? All right, here we go. Let's go. This thing's a pain because of what I have to do with the computer. Now this thing let's go like this. Okay, so let's go over here. If you don't, you lead. All right, he's leading.
Warren.
What's the square footage of your shop inside?
Inside is it's 40 by 100, so it's right at 4,000, and then I have another 4,000 out back.
Okay. Oh shit, that's nice.
Which is nice because from the street it actually looks.
And you've been here a while.
Almost 8 years.
Okay.
In this shop, I was over off of Mesa Drive in Southern for just a year, and then I was over by the courthouse off of Corey for almost 9 years. And then Wilbur, I was at the Wilbur shop which is a Mesa Drive in Southern. I was there for 6-7 years. And then before that, I was actually on the other side of town, 67th and Bethany.
You think you'll stay in this area?
I'm an East Mesa guy. I'm an East Valley guy.
Yeah.
I love the East Valley.
Yeah. Will you ever try to buy your own shop?
I actually have something in the works. I have kind of like a 3 to 5 year plan is actually to find some property, put a house on it, put a shop on it, and just kind of focus on 1 or 2 builds and parts.
Yeah.
Kind of like a retired working 90 hours a week type thing.
Yeah, 90 hours.
Fun, man. Life's too short.
Yeah. I remember when I had my first 40-hour work week or whatever.
What'd you do after Tuesday?
Exactly. So we got, this is OBS, obviously.
This is Chad Hall's OBS.
Okay.
He actually, he's from South Dakota, I believe. He bought the truck local, had it shipped here, and we're running through it, 24-inch custom cuts. It's running our front and rear kit. It's actually ready for tear-down final assembly powder coat. We're painting everything black. All the suspension components and whatnot are going Chevy orange.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Sweet. Is he keeping that motor? Is it big block?
No, he's talking about doing some stupid LS7 supercharged when he gets it back.
Okay, so he's going to do that.
Yeah.
You're just doing all the chassis suspension stuff?
Yeah, we're doing all the chassis suspension work. Johnny next door is doing some touch-up work on the bed because it wasn't what it was in pictures, if that makes sense.
So is Johnny next door a paint guy?
Yeah, Mad Tiki Customs. I actually use a lot of his skills.
I think that's so important for a guy like you. I know Trey Five's been spoiled with eye candy, and if you've got a painter close,
finding reliable painters is half the battle. Finding reliable people. I mean, I firmly believe in surrounding yourself with people who accent your quality of life. And Johnny has helped me out, and I'm grateful to be where I'm at. Friends with who I am friends with, and people I have.
Well, and you get a guy like that, it makes you be like, yeah, my lease is up. I don't want to leave.
Right.
I want to.
Actually, him and I were talking about that because I am talking about moving the shop further east on a private pitch property, and he's like, I don't know, we'll figure something out.
Yeah. Okay. Got a little, what is this like?
This is Wayland. This actually truck got pulled out of a shop in North Carolina and shipped to us a couple months ago. Mike Pruitt's over helping us completely rewire the truck. It's got the Holley
Terminator,
yes.
Yeah.
So we finished wiring that up. We actually just got it to fire today, vintage air unit. And as soon as we get it wired, it comes in for full bags, 22s.
What's this battery? We got a new battery location over here.
This is where I like to put the batteries on the square bodies. I make a little bracket that holds it off so you can still clear the vintage air stuff. Gets it off the firewall, but it hangs it nice.
Okay, that cleans up this area. Well, for you, because fender well real estate is so important. So that makes
especially
sense.
when you get in these big tires, you start putting that fender well up high. You really don't have a lot of room.
So is he going 22s? What's he running?
22-inch big holes on this one. It was one of those unfortunate bad experiences with another shop, and he called us up. And
it's a very clean truck. It looks like it appears to be very straight, very clean. It's cool with these trucks, and I think that's probably why they've become so popular. Is the big haulers didn't get high miles. They didn't get the beat up, quite the way that some of the short beds.
It seems to be one or the other. You either find one in real good shape, or you find one just beat to death. Yeah. And people still want to make fun.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. What's what MBS? Beautiful MBS.
2005, I believe, 4 or 5. Jose Delgado's truck. We've had it here for several years, and this has snowballed into something way more than it was originally planned. We were originally going to just channel it, paint powder coat suspension, send it down the way, and we ended up with a whole new frame, black chrome powder coat. Jason at High Test did all the.
Oh yeah.
All the.
It's amazing.
He's
here. I'm going to give you that for a second. No, you just hold it. However, yeah. You just hold that, and you can do your tour. You can keep it in front of you too if you want. Then I can kind of point this right here.
Yeah, it's running 26.
What chassis is this?
One we made.
Oh, okay. So Lowboy chassis.
I consider a fab shop. We make 90-95% of what we do. All our suspension components, all our forelings. We do dabble in. We're dealing with a GSI chassis. Scott and those guys over there have been real professional, real cordial to us, treated us real well. So we're building a 59 for Clint on a GSI chassis. But overall, I prefer to build 2612s.
Okay, yeah. So they look tall and they don't look quite as wide. So that's what I was kind of wondering. That's a tall ass tire, or wheel, I should say, and tire. Now, are the 2612 as a wheel like that as hard to get as like 2415? Because
actually a 2612, even a 2412, you can run like a 305/30, 305/35.
Here, I'll put that.
And it's suitable for the width of the tire. The unfortunate reality is they only produce those 4 or 525s for the 2415s in certain runs, like every year and a half. So I'm waiting on like 6 sets right now.
Well, I mean, whether or not it's just a rumor, I've heard it multiple times that one guy or 2 guys buy them all, and then they distribute them, and then they kind of hold people. Going back to the VIG, you're fine.
Buying a $400 tire for $2,000.
Yeah. So but they are ridiculous. They're killer to look at. So how much are you cutting out of this? I mean, this is looks like a lot.
A lot.
Okay.
This truck was a V6. We swapped in a 5.3 with a cam, completely rebuilt the motor. Stock 4 body dropped, 3/4 frame.
Speaking of batteries, there you go. So what power plant? Obviously,
it's a LS. Yeah, it's the 5.3.
Oh, it's a 5.3, but it's got the different intake.
Correct. But we did do a Texas Speed Stage 2 cam, hooker headers, the car manifold or car accessories, just kind of tighten everything up. And then this truck will actually have the fuse box and everything in the center console. So the goal is when we pop the hood, you literally just see fenders and motor, minimal wiring.
Very clean.
In the front, the insides, the sheet metal work's all done there. You can really see.
Oh yeah, tunneled.
It's all sound deadened.
How long are these trucks staying here?
To be honest with you, a lot of times it really is defined by money flow and life.
And how much it snowballs?
It really does. It's almost impossible to keep a schedule, and I know that frustrates a lot of people. I have a lot of people going win, 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 but every truck that comes in here for a certain parameter of work, and it always changes.
Sure.
It always changes.
Do you think, though, that as a builder, and the customer should almost know that? We've watched enough reality TV.
My biggest advice for somebody is, especially when we get into build this big, is to develop a plan and stick with that plan, because that's when it starts to get expensive. We can guesstimate costs if we have a plan. It always deviates. Always prepare for that. But if you don't try and stick to a final outcome, you're going to bury yourself, and the truck's never going to get done, and somebody's going to pick it up for pennies on a dollar, and it ruins relationships and all kinds of
and you don't ever want to look at that style of truck again.
Yeah.
Based upon what we want.
I mean, I've witnessed interactions where, people are involved with women who aren't into this. You got a gentleman that loves this stuff and loves his girl, but she's not into it, and it becomes a thorn in the side.
Yeah.
So, it's unfortunate.
Well, how many comics or memes do you see where it's like, and then it's done. It's like, when are we taking the whip out? You know what I mean? It's just getting to that point.
Well, that's not even for women. I mean, you look at the friends and the people you surround yourself with. If they're all at the finish line cheering you on, that's cool. But how many of them are there during the race?
Yeah.
When you needed help.
That's life. Anything.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Whatever it is.
For sure.
Cool. So this OBS is going to be killer. I can't wait to see this thing. Obviously, this guy, I know, this is a thing that I've seen, a couple of the guys do. He's going to use it to tow. You're building that. You're kind of incorporating and fabricating that into the plan.
Yep.
Okay. Is this a Lowboy Watts link that you created here?
This is indicative of what our rear kit consists of. So it's the 4-link cross member, all the tabs. The only thing the rear suspension doesn't come with would be shocks and bags. I leave that ambiguous for you to pick what you prefer. So
the guy's looking to 4-link their truck. You saw him this complete kit, the crossover, the steps, everything. You can get it all, including Watts, and they can piece it together too.
Yes, yeah. I'll sell it individual. I sell a lot of just Watts kits or Watts links by themselves. Cool. I've sold just the lower bars because we bend them and kink them in to clear everything. That we can utilize the factory front spring perch. Less is more. It's there and it works.
Well, ironically, you have an OBS, a square, and an NBS in this corner. What are you seeing most of right now?
To be honest with you, it all really goes in phases. I'll do 5 or 6 OBS dualies, then I'll do 5 or 6 square body dualies, and then I'll do 5 or 6 half tons. It's weird how unplanned that stuff happens.
Is that good for you though? Because then you don't get burned out on the same, or do you like to just?
Everything's relative. Right?
Yeah.
So, but we'll have days where I'll do front suspensions on 5 trucks, and you step back and realize that somehow unconsciously or subconsciously that came to fruition. It's just kind of weird.
And you made it happen. Yeah.
Every once in a while, I get a weird Ford trend, and that weirds me out.
Oh, and let's not get carried away.
4 or 5.
Yeah, let's not get carried away. So adapters.
Yes.
Okay. That's another thing.
We get most of our adapters through Trevor at Tennessee Wheel and Tire. We've been dealing with him for 15 plus years.
And those are, if I think right, they're about 800.
These are billet steel, and I sell these for the OBS Chevys 950 ships.
Okay. Square bodies.
Same thing, 950 ship. Okay. When you get into the newer trucks with the larger bolt patterns, the price really goes up. Like the the 2011 newer Fords on the 8 with the 8-on-210, you're up around 1450.
So for you guys figuring out how do you get an 8 lug up to a 10 lug to fit one of those tires, that's what he's doing. So those are the adapters that you need to make that happen. That's how you make that happen right there.
And then we also have we make and sell a rear disc brake kit.
And what brake is it using? It's like,
to be honest, we're using K20 four-wheel drive front stuff.
Okay.
And the big benefit of that is the advantage of the performance of disc brakes, along with taking like 125 pounds of.
Plus, you can get the brake.
Yep.
Easy money.
The other upside of like doing ornate cuts, it's a little expensive, but we can take anywhere from 10 to 15 pounds out of the wheel. So anytime we can minimize rotating mass, take the opportunity.
Yeah, and they look bitchin'. Okay, cool, man. It's fun. It's definitely. You see this type of stuff, and it makes you love the lowness, and that's why we're here at Lowboy. So square body.
Lowboy, not kind of lowboy.
Yeah, not kind of Lowboy. Another, we got a little more light over here, so you can see that watts that they'll sell you. Now he looks a little higher. It's because it's an OBS and
this. This is a square body Cummins. We want a little bigger on the notch to get the bag under the notch between the axle, because he plans on hauling a lot of heavy duty stuff.
So another 4-link outside.
Yep. The square body frames are quite a bit narrower, so even with the narrowed axle to get to tuck under the factory fenders, there's more than enough room to keep the frame.
You know, and for the audience on Yellowstone, I just went way cheap and kept my leaf pack and did a flip, and dude, they're massive. It was just massive. So this is the way to go. If you know you're gonna, bag and drop it.
If you've ever ridden in a dually, unloaded it rides like a wagon, loaded it rides great. So
exactly. Why do you got that quad in the back? Because it rides a lot better if I put all that heavy shit in the back of my truck.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So yeah, this is what they were working on. We kind of delayed a little bit, but pretty killer stuff. Obviously, you can. Some guy's got an Avalanche. He's going to be running some 24s, 26s,
26.9, 26.12s. The frame's out at powder coat right now, so we're just trying to converge all the roads onto one place at one time. And see what happens.
I don't know if this guy's watching, but I'm thinking this dude's crazy, but I think it's so cool. Like, I can't wait to see an NBS Avalanche rolling on just big ass hoops.
Yep. Yeah, this truck it'll have 16-inch 6-piston bare brakes, full powder coat chassis, all silver accents. Yeah, Brandon's a nut, man. This truck has like 320,000 miles on it.
Oh, really?
It looks like
5.3, right?
5.3.
Yeah.
He rolled it. He is so obsessive with the way he cleans it. It looks like a 100,000-mile truck. Crazy.
Cool. Yeah, at least it's not the plastic version of the Avalanche, the first gen, had all that shit on the side. All right, and then you got the K5 here, the C5 kind of. What are you guys doing here?
We built a full frame. This was a factory 2-wheel drive Blazer. A gentleman named Patrick owns it. We built a full frame for it because the frames on the Blazers actually kick down about the rear door. So by the time you cut that out and modify it, it's almost easier just to build a frame. So we built a full frame for it, 4-link, watch link, all scratch built suspension. We don't have the motor fit completely yet. We're just gonna have it in there so we can get an idea what we need to do.
Okay. This is going to be. Is that the wheels that he plans on running?
For now, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, budget.
Well, he's had them for. These wheels have been on this truck since he's had it. Well, he's had it for a while. But when he dropped the truck off, it had these really tires on it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it's tool drive already, so it's already bitching, it's already cool. Yep. Dude wants to take it lower, and you're, like you said, it's like, how low do you want to go? All right, want to go all the way down.
Here we go.
Cool. Now, he's a local guy?
He is a local guy.
All right, cool.
Correct. This is kind of the staging area for parts coming in, parts going out. We have multiple motors for some projects coming down the pipe.
So these are motors coming in or coming out?
Motors are coming in. So this motor is for Clint's 59 Apache. It's a Trailblazer SS takeout, super low mile.
Is that the Apache that's over at Low Light? Or
Mad Tiki.
Yeah.
Next door. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then Texas LS, we do a lot of business with Texas LS. Great people to deal with, him and his wife. one of those motors is actually for a personal project of mine, and the other one is for Andrew's 64 C10.
Okay. What's your personal project?
I am building a 90 extended cab OBS Chevy pickup.
90. Oh, okay.
I started building a 94 when I was 20, and life kicked me in the nuts. So this is my closure. But we're a little bit more secure in life. So we have a Cam 6.0, and we have a full stone pad frame because Jake and I are buddies. He took care of me amazingly on a frame. Intro 22.8, 24 15s.
Oh, damn. Yeah, it's a 90 extra cap.
90 extra cap.
And you're in oh, dude, that's going to be so tight. Yeah.
I'm thinking about hydraulics. I have a coilover hydro setup on a cantilever type thing.
Is that like the Mittler style stuff that they were like?
Kind of. It's same concept, but my idea is to actually have a coilover on a cam with a cylinder. Make it a little.
So coilover cam, really? Is what I mean, so look, almost like best of both worlds.
So we'll have the adjustability of the cylinders, the instantaneous on-demand reaction of hydraulics, but the ride quality of coilovers.
Wow.
Don't have to deal with accumulators. Theoretically, the cylinder won't be moving as much, so our seals won't blow out. We'll see.
LST 2021?
Maybe.
That'd be tight.
If everything goes well, I plan to have it not done, but running and driving it.
Dude, let's go, because we're going. I mean, it'll be our 5th year for the eastbound and down to the throwdown, and it'll be their 10-year show. So so we'll be going. Okay. So you got some wheels cut here. This is one of your, I think kind of your signatures.
You know what? If you want to have a little dissertation on a flat face wheel versus a conventional wheel,
let's do it. Let's do a tour of the
This
wheel.
Is a 24. This is a conventional 24 8 1/4, which is the same basic orientation as a 22, but you can see the wheel offset.
Okay.
So when you put the two wheels together, here's your standard concept. You're about 23 inches wide. In this situation, we do face the mount.
So lip to lip, 23.
About 23, yeah.
Okay.
We do face the mount surface on these, 400 thou, and that'll bring you just a little more than 3/4 of an inch closer together.
Just for clearance.
Just for clearance.
Okay.
So with a flat face wheel, you can see.
Oh yeah.
The offset difference. So 22.
So you guys see there, that wheel is completely flat face wheel versus, I guess, what is this considered? Concave?
This is a standard 8 1/4. They basically make these wheels in, the 22s.
What do you call a non-flat face though?
Just a conventional wheel.
Okay, conventional.
8 1/4 conventional wheel. The 8 1/4s are going to be the most prevalent, the most widespread, the easiest to find, and the least expensive. So now you have a 22-inch conventional 22-inch wheel and a 9-wide steer wheel. That on a dually, we use this as a rear outside. So in our flat face setups, we actually mill.
So do you use a conventional on the rear inside?
Depends on the application. So on a dually, for the flat face wheel, we use an 8 1/4 conventional on the inside, and we actually mill the inside face 400 thou to just give us a little bit extra. On the square bodies, it clears pretty well. On the OBSs, the spatial orientation is a little bit tighter, especially if you get into the 98, 99, 2000 body styles. The fenders are actually smaller. But by putting those two wheels together, flat face and conventional, it takes you down to about 21.5 inches. And then with that milling on the inside, it tucks under your factory fenders. No axle mods, no sheet metal mods, no bed mods.
How about spacers for tires then?
We are limited to tire size, 265/35, 265/40, nothing at all. Several of my trucks, if you want to come outside.
Well, and just because I've seen that where on four-wheel drive applications, you have to have spacer just because the tires are going to.
Right. We're definitely limited on tire size. This truck here has a 275/45 22 on it, and it gives us about 1/8 of an inch.
So NBS, you guys can see that. Okay. Kind of get in here a little bit. Pretty tight.
They're close, but they don't touch.
Yep.
But any bigger tire, we actually can make a spacer to push those tires a little bit further apart.
Yeah, so that's what I was kind of wondering if you're finding that guys are needing spacers or not. And you know that. That's the key, right? Where that's the information where...
Well, I'm sure it's frustrating because when I get inquiries about products, I typically respond with an assload of questions.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that can get overwhelming. But I want to set you up and price you out
with what's going to suit your needs from the get, not having problems. This truck is a little bit special. This truck was actually not a dually like a month ago. So what it is on a conventional dually, we use the flat face wheel on the outside. That allows us to tuck in the factory fenders. This being a 3/4 ton, we're using it as proof of concept to use the flat face wheel on the inside with the factory 3/4 ton rear end. So this truck started out as a 3/4 ton single wheel non-dually truck, and except for the lower shock mounts that I make and the rumble notch is completely bolt on to turn it into a dually.
Wow. So you just got to find the bed though.
That's the difficult part. The 99 to 06 beds are becoming, or the 2000 to 06 beds are becoming difficult to find. I actually bought this bed like a year before I bought the truck because I just
knew you were gonna.
It popped up, and there weren't very many of them. So.
Okay, kicked off of IG, and I don't know if it's why it did that. It did that earlier. So let me. We just kicked off IG, so let me take a break. We're gonna get a swig. Not sure why I did that. It's hot. Phone probably got hot. So let me set this down. You guys can look at Patrick's sweet K5. And Todd's going to take a swig. I'm going to take a swig. And I'm going to let IG do its thing here for a second. IG's funny. It kicks you off at about an hour anyways. So... Okay, we're still working on it. Hang in there, boys and girls. Hang in there. Oh, we're gonna need those bottles in here. Yeah. Cool. We can even, unless there's something you really want to get to out back there, or we can even be good to just go Q&A if you want. It depends on you. So this is always fun when somebody so I don't know if you know a lot of guys. So he's so funny. So he might not realize that he says he wants to come in. Let's see if he went away. Okay. So this guy's saying, "Hey, I want to come in." So watch. This is fun.
Oh, he went
He'll be coming in. It'll be him. Let's see if he comes in. Waiting, connecting. Hey, dude, what's up, bro?
What's up?
Did you know I was gonna bring you in?
No. I really wanted to stay behind and just watch, man, because I'm in love with what LOWBOY does, man.
Isn't it? I appreciate your support, brother.
Isn't it cool?
Always, T.
Yeah, it's cool. A lot of times I was telling them, a lot of times guys don't realize somehow when they say they want to join, and then we had a guy who was topless. He was sitting in bed and he had his shirt off, right. and I surprised him. So, all right, man, thanks for tuning in.
Always, man.
Okay.
On the strength.
We'll kick you off here now. I think we can kick you off right here. Yeah.
Todd, man, keep doing the rad stuff, man.
I appreciate it, brother.
Okay, man.
Hey, thanks, guys. Thank you.
Hey, if you've got any questions, we're gonna be hanging out, drinking beer for an hour or so. So hang out.
Oh, always.
Okay, here we go. So yeah, that's cool. So for YouTube, yeah, it's funny. So here's another one, CPR. So CPR wants to. So let's see what.
Meet Kevin and Mark in here. Huh?
Yeah, well, I don't know. So yeah, you got. So let's see who you get a pick.
Well, Kevin is Sarah's husband.
Oh, okay. Let's pick him here. Let's see what he does. Hold on. Let's see here if he comes in. Yeah, so it's saying he's waiting on him, whether he realizes it or not.
There he goes.
Ah! Holy COVID! I don't even know you, Kevin. God damn! You look like Santa Claus, bro.
You're saying sexy wrong.
Yeah.
What's up?
Nothing, man. What are you doing?
I heard there's a dope Tahoe sitting out back there.
Yeah, we don't want to show pictures of it. Something happened.
Oh.
No kidding.
Yeah. Even better. Perfect.
Actually, something did happen. That's a good story maybe for another time. But we're on the tail end of that fucking mess, huh? There's one.
I had one. He had one.
We're down 2.
All right.
How's Pennsylvania, man?
Good. I said that you're moving out here soon. That's where your new shop's going to be. So that way you had a good wiring, audio, tech guy there.
Where at in Pennsylvania are you, Kevin?
Pittsburgh.
Oh, go Steelers. Sound works. Freaking Tyler, man.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Tanner.
Oh, Tanner, yeah.
There's Isaiah.
Oh, yeah, you got all kinds of peeps. Hey, how come Sarah's not coming in? She She was piping up. Now she's not coming in.
She was flirting pretty hard. I'm a little upset now.
I have to confess that was me typing underneath.
That's why I love you, buddy. That's why I love you. Nothing wrong with a little man-on-man, right?
Even better, even better. All right, we're gonna check in with Barbie. He might get mad if I don't jump on over and see what he's up to.
See you guys later, man.
Okay,
bye, buddy.
See you, man. Nice meeting you, bro. Kevin Claus. Kevin Claus.
He's a beardsmith.
Let's see if Barbie's still out there. I might be able to bring him in. Let me try to bring Barbie in, you guys, on YouTube real quick. See what he's got going on, and then we'll get to it. We'll let's do this real quick before we get to that. Let's just jump out back and just show them a little few, everything else you got. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll do a quick one.
Yeah, let's just take it out there real quick. We'll take it out back. Let me flip this around. So we'll. So he's got another 4,000 back here. He's got some again some more NBS and
two 18s, both on 28.9, 28.12s. This truck has come from a bad place that we're going to make it right. It came in static dropped. It's got some frame issues and stuff like that. So you got most of the front lined out on both these trucks. Got the back lined out on this truck, and we're going to end up clipping the back of this because it's just a little bit too far gone.
okay.
The cab that looks all hokey there is one of my main dude Bernie's trucks. His frame coming back in powder coat. Little OBS. Was a V6 manual truck. Will be a V8 automatic truck. Stock floored. Super proud of my dude.
Okay.
And then the Piner truck on the other side is my personal project with the stone fab frame and all the goodies.
This is the 91.
Yep.
Yeah. So there you go.
So as soon as some 405 25s pop up or show up, I'll get hot and heavy on it. We got Ramon C10 on 26s. Then we got Justin 67 with a single turbo 5.3, and then Kevin, who was just on live with us, that's his Tahoe over there. It's got a
There's your Tahoe, Kevin. You can see it.
It's got a blown LS2 running right at 500 horse on the rear wheels.
I'm not sure what happened to the other side though. He won't let me walk over there. What color are you gonna paint your truck? You gonna leave it white or what are you gonna do?
The goal is to paint it that new Toyota blue.
Oh, I love that color.
But the frame, the interior, the engine bay is all gonna go blood red.
Wow.
That's the goal.
Okay.
We'll see how that looks out.
Blood red and sky blue.
Yep.
Kinda. All right. So you got a little MBS. So yeah. Okay. So you got a lot going on out here. This is a fun little spot out here, and we'll get into some part stuff inside. We'll talk parts and promote what you guys have available and sell and
for sure
and push that. Okay. Yeah, this is a perfect little. I mean, I don't know.
It's a great spot. It really
well, I tell you, the most important thing for the guys out there, you don't realize. The first thing I think about. The first thing I think about being out here. First thing. Okay. I'm looking at IG now. Is this? Let me show you guys something. This is morning sun. Morning sun in Phoenix is okay. You would not want. Hopefully I can set that on this car. Hold on, let me set this. You do not want this open area on the other side. West facing anything in Phoenix. Another F-bomb. Yep. Suck it. Dude, it's just absolute miserable. So to have, your morning sun come in here in the morning, good to go. I mean, it's 7:30 here. Dude, he could have another shift going on. It's beautiful because the sun is behind us. But if this was on the other side, dude, suck it. It would not be good. So
we don't work out here in the morning in the summer. Yeah. We wait for the afternoon in the summer.
Yeah, because unless you got up here really, really early, like 4, you wouldn't want to do it. So, all right, we're gonna take it on the inside. Hope you guys are digging it. I don't know what happened on IG. It just kicked it off. So I don't know if it was that hour-long mark. Sorry about that, but it definitely just kicked it off. And we needed a beer anyway. So let's go in. Let's talk wheels. Let's talk parts. Let's talk availability. Let's talk whatever you guys want to talk about. Let's open up the Q&As and we'll get it going. So I think I switched that. You got a fresh one? You're good?
I am good.
Okay. So let's see what we got here. Lowboy builds some of the coolest stuff I see in this community. That is BLD of Things 84. Okay. So let's, YouTube, it's easy to get sucked into IG. What do we got here? So GMC Texas, thanks as always. Daniel Powell, you got your free shirt. Sick Monty, what's up, what's up? Let's see, Shane, what's up, what's up? And then awesome setup. Gotta ask, why make a regular truck into a dually?
Why not?
Yeah, that's a freaking great response.
You're making the
why not
one dually better, one dually at a time.
Yeah, but what was the thing that Aaron Miller, one of our common friends, said? But there was a saying, and I'm assuming you might have given it to him. I'm sure you've heard it, but 6 wheels. There's something he said to me. It's like 6 wheels or a dually means this much more money.
Yep, and that's actually something I say. You're 50%, at least 50% more expensive because you're buying 50% more product.
Yeah, your 4 goes to 6. You know what I mean? So crazy.
The biggest thing I deal with is, Mark's a prime example. Mark has built some bitch in half ton, that 63, 64, 63.
Yeah, 63
that
he
blue
had.
63 was an absolute beautiful truck. Kevin and Grunion, those guys tag teamed it and just built a beautiful, iconic truck. And I talk a lot of guys off the ledge every week when they get into dualies because they're a different monster. They shouldn't be. I don't know if they should be, whatever, but they require a different finesse than a half ton, to be honest with you.
So, meaning that, a half ton can easily snowball on you, but just be prepared that you're dealing with something that's not easily modified just to be like, in my mind, I'm almost thinking like, you're probably not going to just be able to buy a few things and then get what you want. Right. It definitely takes, but I feel like that's where you have come in, and
part of the issue is the aftermarket really has acclimated to it. The half tons are so popular that you have, several companies, numerous companies. It's the C10s. The C10 market is just so saturated, and that's one of the reasons that I just don't develop C10 parts. There's plenty of great parts.
Yeah, why waste your time?
Chopping block, porter built, guys building their own stuff, just building. There's no reason for me to build something to try and waste not waste my time, but I'm busy as it is, so I don't need a distraction to develop a part that there's a suitable part out there.
It is wasting your time, unless you want it just for you. But you could just buy it, and right. we talked about it. Your time becomes a value.
It's I've been doing this for 20, 25 years now. I'll be 46 this year. When you're young and cocky and think you know it all, you try and do it all. And part of the evolution of what I do is learning to be able to delegate. That's huge. Being, Matador, getting him in the powder coating, getting Johnny, because I used to do all the paint stuff myself. But just, support your brother, man.
Yeah.
Elevate everybody around you.
Well, it frees you up.
Yeah.
Isn't it funny how when you do that, I assume, once you do hand that off, you trust the guy, you vet the guy, he's earned your respect, and his skill level meets your demand.
Right.
Once you hand it off, the feeling is just like, oh my God, I just let go.
It's hard because I'm a control freak, alpha male, and I like to have control of stuff. But so it's hard. So if I trust somebody, it's, not that it means anything, but if you're in my circle, you're in my circle.
Yeah. So don't fuck it up. Yeah, there's one for me. Okay, let's see where we're at here on the IG. Lowboy killing it. Sick Monty, does anyone make a frame boxing kit for an OBS? A frame. So you want to take a stock OBS kit and box it? Stock frame and box it. I would think anybody would just fab it up with whatever material
the frame. To be honest with you, the frame rails are boxed under the front portion of that cab, so it wouldn't be difficult to just make your own plates. Go get a sheet of 10 gauge, some cardboard, and make it happen. From right under the cab all the way back to well past the cab is just a straight shot. Then you got your transitions into your notch and shit like that. So,
Barbie, if you want to come back in, you can try it. I brought Kevin in, and I don't see the availability. So if you guys have any questions, hit them up. While you're thinking of where can I get me one of them red Lowboy hats, would love to get one. Heavy 99 Chevy. I'll sell you this one for $80, but I'm sure if you want one, you can hit him up. Go to IG, follow LOWBOY Motorsports, and right there he's got his name, his number, his birth certificate, his social security number, website, everything there.
Yep.
And you can get one of these pimp daddies. Got a 22 with the crown. And then look at this. When you're driving your chopper down the road and it flips up, You can do this.
If you don't know, now you know.
Now you know. If you need it, he's got it. If he ain't got it, you don't need it. Okay, so you moved here in 86, 84. I moved here in 86. I'm just, oh, what up, Tricky? Okay, so I don't see anything jumping out at me huge right there. So let's see, what do I got for you? How'd you get into it?
Couldn't afford to pay anybody to do it.
But so you liked it?
I came up with the Lowboy name when I was 9. I come from a long line of over-the-road truck drivers. I have several miles logged accident-free. I started driving I drove my first Kenworth when I was 12. It was an 85 Kenworth, 48-foot alloy spread axle.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I don't know what my dad was thinking.
He was a trucker.
We put a lot of miles
on
those trucks. Yeah, my dad passed away in 13. I miss him every day. I am my father's son in that my work ethic and my go mentality is definitely derivative of him. I couldn't. You figured that when I got in.
Lowboy is a truck, right? That's a trailer.
Actually, Lowboy's a trailer.
Yeah. So for the audience, a lowboy is a trailer. Like if you think about a Caterpillar, a big rig.
It's a heavy haul. It's a heavy haul trailer. A lot of times you see the D8, D9s, whatever, the big cats and stuff like that. The tongue usually comes off the front, and they'll load it that way, and then they'll back the truck back up and load the tongue up. They're called lowboy trailers, and I always just thought that would be a bitchin' name for a shop.
And it is.
Okay.
Especially because
it works.
Go low.
It works.
Go low. So you couldn't afford it. You wanted to get into it.
Well,
you wanted to build something.
Shit, I bought my first trucking magazine in May of '87. So, and I still have it in a box somewhere in an attic. You figured that there was mid to late '90s. There wasn't a whole lot of people doing a whole lot of things.
Everything was going up around here.
Yeah.
One of the most famous stores in my life was right here.
Flying High. Literally a half mile that way.
Yeah.
I mean, they were insane back in the day.
I mean, we would drive right by it and see the Flying High truck, and it's right.
Jeep and the fancy lights and all that shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I figured what I wanted to do, I could screw it up 2 or 3 times and still be money ahead. So.
Where did you do it all? At home?
My driveway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mom and dad's or mom?
No,
and
I was married. I came home from the Army. I was stationed in Baumholder, Germany in 93 to 95. I came home. Well, I spent 2 years in Germany. I had a $500 limit MasterCard, and I would buy a wheel, a tire, a set of spindles. So over 2 years, I came home to a bone stock 87 Chevy pickup and like 15 grand worth of parts in 1993, 94. Think about that. That's a lot of money back then.
Yeah.
So I came when I PCS from Baumholder, Germany to Fort Hood, Texas. I took a 45 day leave, and I went home to Montana early December, and then I had to report to Fort Hood like mid-January. But I just locked myself in the garage with my father and my grandfather, and it was remember Chisholm's suspension?
Oh yeah.
They made those control arms. Horrible product. But I had Chisholm suspensions because I figured that would be a better way than drop spindles. Flip kit, C-notch, Traders 17.8, 17.11, torque thrust tubes, man. 315, 35, 17s.
Oh, an 87.
Yeah, I remember rolling through Dallas Sport Truck Nationals 1995 on 17-inch deep dish wheels and people losing it. Oh my God, those things are so huge! And you think back and just chuckle.
Yeah.
Just chuckle.
That had to feel good though.
It did, man. And we see if I can find a picture of that and I'll post it on.
Yeah.
It was a fun truck. I moved here.
So you're still in the service, or
still in the service at the time? What the hell was the name of that shop? We were in Killeen, Texas, and I can't remember his name. There's 5. He painted it for me. I did my own stereo. I picked up a bunch of Kenwood because Kenwood on the PXs and the military bases is super cheap. So I had a over-the-top Kenwood, a couple of JL12s, old Alpine.
What was your MCS in the military? What was
I was 63 whiskey, wheeled vehicle, heavy wheeled vehicle repair. The screwed up part was I was attached to a forward sport battalion, 47 forward sport battalion, but I was detached to 40th Engineer Brigade, so I was literally changing major components while getting, shit shot at you.
Yeah.
At you. It wasn't a lot of fun.
Yeah. So you did your 4 years?
5.
5?
A little 5, yeah.
And you were married?
I got married in the Army. We divorced. I got married January 5th, 1996. I got divorced January 9th, 2008. So it's
2 years.
Almost 13.
Oh no, 90. Oh 90. Okay.
I'm sorry, 08. I'm sorry.
08.
Yeah.
Yeah.
06 to 96 to 08. So it's right at 12, 13 years. Got two amazing boys out of it.
Yeah. You got
Tyler.
Todd Jr. Right? Or is it?
Well,
LOWBOY Jr.
His name is LOWBOY Jr. But his name is Tyler Burton. He works for me. To be honest with you, I'm running the shop with a gentleman my age and 4 20-year-olds. And I've made it a new mission that if I find a young buck that's hungry and wants to learn, I'm gonna teach him.
Oh my God!
And
you should have told me that.
I am so grateful for these guys. And
Payson, you're in trouble, dude.
Whoop.
Oh, he's in trouble.
Yeah.
He's smart, man. He's a mechanical freaking whip, but he's a pain in my ass. How much do I pay you to pay him?
I don't think there's enough.
Dude, I'm ready to pay you to pay him. My wife is ready. He's I love him to death, but he's a pain in my ass. So
no, I got.
So in the military, are you happy that you did that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I
cool.
love the military. I did not like the people.
Yeah.
My uniforms were high and tight. My boots were pressed or shined. I looked the part. But it was frustrating because I think a lot of people join the Army as a last-ditch effort to figure out whatever they're figuring out. And I loved it. I loved the discipline. I loved the camaraderie. I loved the relationships. I still talk to people I went to basic training with.
So why'd you not stay in?
I think one of the biggest problems I have is I'm not good at playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hang out.
I just don't see that.
I don't drink beer. I'm not social. I don't party. I don't drink. I don't go out. I'm good. And I think that leaves a lot for people to interpret about me. It is what it is.
Well, there's always a chess game being played, right? So that's part of it. But
spades.
So spades, hearts. So you went in. You were wrenching in the military. Mm-hmm. You get out. Was this something that you dreamed about? What was your thoughts?
I was conflicted on whether to go back to Montana or to Arizona. I was married young. I mean, we were 21, 22. I figured I could facilitate a better life for my family here. I mean, a good job in Montana at that point in time was $10 an hour. Mm-hmm. Again, this is late 90s, so it's not horrible money, but you got to be driven and evolved.
The thing about Montana back then, I can only tell you, is growing up, I loved it. But Montana, and I think it's actually what attracts me to Montana more so now than ever, is it's just slow. Mm-hmm. It's just a slower paced world.
It's hard to go and visit because you want to drive down a reserve street at 50 miles an hour and like, why the fuck does everybody go? Oh, never mind.
Phoenix is just. Yep. Yeah, I'm sure L.A., New York, and we hear it all, but Phoenix is moving and shaking. And this last few months has been really kind of crazy.
I love the traffic.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's horrible to say, but I love the traffic, man.
Yeah, it's no traffic. Freeways are wide open, especially for us growing up here in Mesa. When I moved here, there was the freeways, and you could get in buzz anywhere. I remember when I went back one time, I think I was 16. I just got my license, and my grandma's like, "Are you sure you can drive?" And my town was 6,000 people, and then the big city was next door. But I'm like, Grandma, I live in Phoenix, so it's kind of crazy. But let's see if anybody chimed in the park this year, Lone Star. I'll be at C10s in the trailer park for sure. Orange slices on the shirt. I better make it. So let me see if
no pressure.
Yeah, no pressure. Let me see what I got here. Where can I get? Okay, we talked about the hat. Lowboy built some of these. If I don't scroll through them, they take like. Kelsey is waiting with me. Oh, okay. So you want to bring? Let me see here. I don't know why. I'll try to bring you in real quick here. Mark's trying to get in. Maybe try again. I might have to click out and then bring you back in. What do you think will happen with the AccuAir mess?
We literally talked about.
We knew that would be part of it. That's old news, guys. We don't know. And
you nailed it on it's a mess.
It's a mess, and we even said, we're like, how long? That was literally one of the first things. We're like, how long is it going to take till somebody goes to ask us that? Wow, we're already low on that. So I got a solution for that. Okay, what up, Big D? Lowboy is best, really great to work with. Okay, who wanted to FL Florida Dooley?
That's Nick.
Nick's
my boy. Nick.
Upper left CK series. Doolies are almost free still here in Washington. Well,
on our way to Washington.
Load them up and we'll be right there. Okay, really, really good dudes. Thanks, Big Cat. Can you lower a 73 RCD on Alcoas without narrowing the rear end or a frame notch? Well, I think
we do have a flat face setup that will fit on a 73 regular cab dually with no major cutting. As far as the notch, that's really going to be defined by how low you go. So you can do like a spindle shackle hanger drop and not need to do a notch, and you'd be fine.
But the frame is so much bigger, right? It's 11 and a half or something.
Yeah, the frames on all the Chevy pickups, when you get into the 2500, 3500, 3/4 ton, 1 tons, are 1/4 inch instead of 3/16, and then they are taller, especially under the cab and such.
So I think to me, you would want to notch it.
Again, it depends how low he wants to go.
Yeah.
So you could do a 3.5 drop or a 3.4 drop on a 22 with a slightly like a 265/45. It would look proportionate. It would look killer, and not have to do a notch.
What's as lowest you can go with a notch and then still be able to turn and
5.7.
5.7.
Yeah. 5.7 without doing any fender work, inner bed work, or stuff like that. And even then, on a 5-inch front drop, I mean, you're adding a bunch more cycling weight. You're low on big wheels, so you will bottom out, but you're bottoming out on a blunt edge. It's not really going to do any damage to the tire or the truck.
Now, when you go 5 in the front, are you going 2.5 spindle, 3 spring?
Well, that's the thing is, back in the day, old dogs like you and I, they used to have a 3-inch spindle for the dualies, but everything's pretty much 2-inch these days. So it's a 2-inch spindle, 3-inch spring, and then the flip kit in the back, once you remove the overload springs and everything, gives you your 7 inches.
Yeah. So I think on Yellowstone, honestly, Seth was kind of trying something. I joke, but I think it was like 8.11.
It was low.
It was so low. It was so low. It was beyond low. I couldn't turn. So I obviously had static in the front.
But you look good.
Oh, it looked cool, but I couldn't turn. And then I put the Acura, and I could turn, but the truck really needed a lot of stability. It needed lowboy. It really did. It needed rigid stability that I wasn't able to. I didn't give it. And with the camper, that was just too much. And that's why I put the Yellowstone light on it, because it was all over the board. So good question. That was a good question. EGREN, Egren, thanks for putting up with my indecisive ass, Brandon. Okay, Bowtie. I just said that same on vintage messages about him borrowing the dually. Maybe there's a whole nother conversation going on. Looking for 5XL shirts.
When I do shirts, I do 3X and 4X, but I only do like 10, 15 each because I've done high production volumes and then they just sit there.
Yeah, and I do 4Xs too, and they sit there.
Right, so. And then you only do like 5 or 10, and they go like that.
Yeah,
you can't win with that.
I'm out of 3, so for whatever reason, I've got a shit ton of XLs and 2s, but I don't have any 3s. So, okay, let me make sure I got nothing on there. On the dually wheels, is there a solid face available to match the Detroit Steel Wheel Smoothies? He wants a smoothie. He just wants a smoothie.
We can, in a 22, we can set you up with just a blank wheel. And
dude, you should do that. That would be huge. People would dig that.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you did it, you could order it, right? And then you could cut it if somebody didn't like it. But if you mocked up a dually smooth or a 22 smooth, for sure. People would shit their pants.
The problem is the wheel side of what we do here is actually a small facet. You know, the OBS parts that we sell, front and rear kits, the wheels, and then we are an operating fab shop. That's our main priority. So,
what about
developing? And that's the goal. We have a long-term goal to try and move away from doing so many builds and actually developing these parts.
Sure. Like the retirement, the
90-hour a week retirement.
Have you ever thought about having a guy cut your wheels for you, an employee?
Actually, my son cuts 90% of my wheels.
Oh, okay, cool.
My son actually handles. I handle the logistics of getting them where they need to be, getting the tires here and stuff like that. I mount and balance tires myself, but he handles all the BC cutting. He handles all the cleanup. He handles all the polishing, the final polishing, the wrapping.
He's wheel sector?
He is the wheel sector at this juncture.
And it's Tyler?
Tyler.
Yeah.
LOWBOY Jr. I don't know if he is excited about it, but I really don't care.
Yeah.
Because he gets paid every week and gets paid well.
And he's like 21?
Just turned 21.
And he lives at home?
Yes, he lives with me.
Yeah, life's good.
You know, I'm not really pursuing to send him out into the fray. I think if we can survive and with a higher quality of life if we stick together.
Oh, I might need some classes. I might need some therapy on that one.
But, I've got 2 boys, Tyler and Kobe. They just turned 21 and 18 respectively, and I adore the ground they walk on. If there was anything that I didn't do or that I did 100% right, it's have those two boys.
Cool.
I love those kids.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't like me, but I'm
I'm
their father, not their friend.
Yeah. I got the same thing. I love my kids, and my son is a pain in my ass.
Sometimes there was a time where if I could just hit you once really, really hard, I think there would be a hard reboot and it would fix everything.
Yeah.
I didn't, but I still believe that might be.
I was told once, fear and common sense stand in your way. It's for the kids. That's for the kids.
My mom said that along with your big mouth is overloading your hummingbird
ass. That's true. Or your mouth is right and checks your ass can't catch. Right. So this might be part of the something about the shop. Todd's been putting up with my indecisiveness for months. I hate being that guy. This is Vintage Warehouse VW shop.
Dude, I love talking to that dude.
Yeah, so there you go. What up, GSI Scott? Pimp. Crucio Central. I have a 2019 Duramax 3500 4x4. What options do I have for a small amount of lowering to price on a set of wheels tire? QCO, you need to just, we'll let him go a little bit, but then you can just call in. But
yeah, message me for details of what you want, what you're trying to do. The unfortunate reality is with the advent of the 2011 and the complete suspension change and the bolt pattern change from the 8 on 6.5 to the 8 on 210 millimeter, anything over the counter is only going to get you a couple inches. So I think there's a torsion bar and a shackle kit that's available over the counter. The spindle configuration really makes it difficult to get that truck any lower without really throwing a lot of work at it. As far as wheels and tires, that's something we referenced earlier with the bolt pattern and the extra millwork that's required in the hub bore, the extra cost of the adapters. So message me with exactly what you're looking for and details in the truck, and I'll quote you out the best I can for the setup that I think you need.
What's a set of wheels run? So a
guy's really depends on the truck.
Okay. Alcoa 20.
Okay, if we can get something that doesn't require any hub bore mods on the wheel, like your anything 8 on 6.5, any of your Ford 8 on 170s, or even your Ford on 8 on 200 millimeter, your basic complete setup starts about $5,000. That's 6 wheels, adapters, mounted ballots, caps and covers, polished, ready to bolt on. Again, as you get into the newer trucks with the larger bolt patterns, it requires extra millwork, tire sizes. There's always a few variables there. That's why I ask a lot of questions when people require a lot of pricing.
About how much does it cost to change up the, to mill the wheel, to go from a stock style Alcoa, whatever, 12 hole or whatever that is?
Kind of design?
Yeah, to go to something.
The coffin cuts like on Chad's wheel are a little more ornate. We're about 225, 250 wheel on those, but your more common round holes and stuff like that.
And you're calling that a cut and design?
Yeah, okay. Custom cut.
Okay,
custom cut.
Secret weapon.
Come say hi.
Rome the Polisher in the house, working.
How we do?
What up? What up?
Teamwork, baby.
Y'all done?
Thank you, sir.
Secret weapon.
Shoot me a total. I'll pay that. Yeah. Appreciate you. Thanks, Rome.
See you, Rome. Have a good weekend, man. Happy Memorial Day. I think I need to plug this phone in here pretty soon. So, okay. QCO, he's got you there. Let me see what else I got. Damn, didn't know he was prior service. That's badass. Salute. LOL PX deals. Yeah,
right?
My concrete guy just came in with the price. I have no idea. I didn't mean to cut you guys off. God damn it.
Thought we were friends, man. Jesus.
I know. I just lost IG. Yeah. I think he just kicked me off IG. They're all like, what the hell? Yeah, you were, wasn't that? Okay, now we're back. Yeah, they're like, shit, what happened? My buddy just sent me my concrete numbers for, I'm trying to figure out if I should do a garage or a shop at the house, and so that was a lot of money. Thanks for your service. Thank you.
You as well, Nick.
Wish I had someone to teach me when I was young like that. That's why I'm going to send my son over here. Know what you were talking about, fellow vet. Thank you for your service, RB Vet. Mr. Joe Riviera.
What's funny is I've talked to people who I've clashed with, and as soon as we find out that we're respective prior service, it's a completely different interaction. It's weird.
Something common.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I think prior service guys are a little protected, and if you haven't experienced it, you just don't know. I mean, there's a weird camaraderie, and it's hard. I mean, it's probably a lot like the firefighter thing. You're really trusting somebody with your well-being. I don't want to be as dramatic as saying my life is in your hands, but well-being, it's definitely a teamwork atmosphere. and develop those bonds. And like I said, there's plenty of people I still talk to. Curtis Gilliard. I mean, we went to basic AIT and ended up on Bombard together. I just flew out to his house a couple of years ago and spent the weekend there.
I would say that what it is, though, is whether it's the fire service or the military is, and every second the day the world turns, it's less and less that you're put into that teamwork type, life. Like it's not just whether it's 8 weeks in boot camp, whether it's whatever it is, you depend on other people. And so whether you grew up with 10 siblings or 2 siblings, or you were an only sibling, you just learn to count and trust other people. Count on and trust other people. Because you have to. You have to. You literally have to. And to be honest with you, you make connections with people. You get sent out into the fray and deal with some of that stuff. You develop conscious, subconscious bonds with these guys. Well, I think it makes you get along too. It does. Like now I see people where it's like, oh, well, not to segue anymore, but it really showed me what a chaotic place the world is. Yeah. And did you get to travel some besides Germany, some other places? Yeah, no, I spent time in Bosnia, Afghanistan, Iraq. We did a bunch of cleanup missions with that Somalia BS that we dealt with. It really put me into some screwed up situations to really evaluate that, even on a bad day, my life's pretty good. Yeah. And I think with the current climate of the world today and the narcissistic side of the human animal, it's really frustrating for me to listen or hear these people bitch about their life with their iPhones and their Nikes and, stuff not going their way when more often than not, the rest of the world is suffering. But they're happy with what they got. That's the thing. And that's the frustrating part. What was one of your favorite things to do as a kid here in the field? Just give me a throw. I was a huge skateboard BMX guy. I mean, I would literally throw my skateboard on my back or ride my skateboard. I mean, we lived off of 27th Avenue Campbell, and I'd end up at 91st and Bell on a skateboard at 10 years old, 11 years old. My parents afforded me my mother afforded me a lot of freedom where I got to really experience the world that I... Did you ever hear, what was that? A music park used to be by where Salt River is, where the zoo is now? Remember that music park? Yeah. I forget what it's called. I'll think of it. But here's where I'm going with that. And I'm not trying to stick up for those people that are in their Nikes and their iPhone, but what happens is guilty to your perception. Well, like growing up as a kid, for me, the river was the bee's knees, right? I mean, yeah, skateboarding to Fiesta Mall. Right. Dude, I would skateboard right where we're at right now as a kid. Ride my bike, Fiesta Mall. Right here was the mall. Flying High was right there. I mean, this is where I grew up, right here. And I tell my wife, I'm like, our kids will never know that, right? But they don't, which is cool. Their barometer isn't set to that, whereas ours is. A different perspective. And that's really what happens. Unfortunately, for our world, we got it so damn good. We're blessed to be in America. We're blessed to be in the greatest country in the world. We're blessed to have guys like this serve us and go all over. And that's what I think. That's why I really do have an admiration and respect for the guys that are in the service, because you've seen things. And here's a good one. So my father-in-law is 70. He was a medic in Nam. Dude, you want to talk about like compartments that are back in here that allow him to get up every day and just be happy about life? Yeah. So I think that's such a big thing. And some people they don't come back and they're like, well, you don't even know. But you can't be mad at them for not knowing. Right. It goes back to that same argument. I believe everybody's guilty to their perspective. Yeah. But it, like I say, it's afforded me the opportunity to see several ways of life instead of just one. Okay, so anytime this guy chimes in, we got to have some fun. This is Stoner. Can we get Lowboy SSS hat or what? I don't know what he's saying there. I think he's saying Lowboy. Is he calling me an ass hat? Yeah, I know. Big fish ass has crabs. Do you know Stoner? We've spoke. Oh my God! Not directly. Well, you might have seen, if you ever watch gay porn, which I'm sure you don't, but he's usually on gay porn. You familiar with his taint? Oh man, dude, Stoner is. Where did Ronnie get? You missed it, Jose. We already went over your truck. There's where your shout out is. Yeah, you got your shout out. Stoner, that's new. It is. It's all coming together. It's new, but it's coming together. Yeah, we ran out of Sharpie. Yeah, we ran out. What up, CTP, Travis? Sam, what's up? What up, Todd? We got a lot of what up. BBC, I meant. Okay, Hot Rod Dave. With this, okay, so Hot Rod Dave he has kind of like the red square back there. I think his might be like an 82, 81. With 610 drop, what tire wheel combo do I need? Or are you talking? But you're not going to go
dually or half ton?
It's dually.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I believe, but the truck that he has is a dually. So he has a dually. I mean, I don't know if he's selling that thing or what, but
the 610 drop, depending on if you're keeping the factory axle or narrowing the axle. I mean, your standard flat face 22-inch setup, but with that heavy a drop, you're probably going to have to raise the inner bed fenders and probably take your inner bed fenders out of the, or inner fenders out of the front as well.
Yeah, and that's what on Yellowstone I had hubcap raise the front fender wells. You got to clear those out. The one thing about squares is now I wasn't a dually on Yellowstone. I was a single
what size
rear
tire
wheel, 225/75. 225/75.
Are you that big?
Was the smallest Toyo 10 ply I could buy. The 225/75/16.
That's roughly 30 inches in diameter, which is almost exactly the same as a 265/35.
Yeah. You have a lot of height in a square.
Yeah.
It's just you don't have that.
Right.
So you have the height, but on a dually, I'm not sure. On a single rear wheel, obviously, I don't know the dually. I wouldn't think the dually would limit you.
You're more inclined to run into problems with that heavier drop as he's running in the front and the back.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. A 6 in the front. You're gonna be in the same boat I was. You can't go that low. I keep hitting the table. Sorry. Oscar, I live down the street from the shop. When I find a clean stock OBS, I'm gonna take it. Get it. Bring it, Oscar.
When you're ready.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Dave at Superchargers Online. What up, Pimp? What up? Hey, Ronnie. Oh, you're teasing me now. It's not, Bree. I know it's not.
You need to avert your eyes. Ronnie is still flirting.
Todd, I think I want lower. This is bodied Avi.
Shut up, Brandon. That's his Avalanche.
Oh, it is the guy. I was saying he's not gonna watch.
See, here's what Brandon did. Brandon brought me the Avalanche. Beautiful truck. Love Brandon to death. And we had a long conversation about.
Hey, you keep talking.
Do you want to body drop it? Remember, Brandon? Do you want to body drop it? And you asked my opinion, and I said, took the money that's gonna body drop it and finish the truck. And then 2.5 later, you brought it back to me to completely tear apart the body drop. Come on, man.
Yeah. How many times has that happened to you?
More often than I'd like to admit.
All right, so I got power there. So
the frustrating part with that is I'm emotionally invested in everything that comes out of this shop. I love what I do. I'm grateful to be in the position that I'm at. It's an amazing feeling. It's been a long road. So, and Brandon's Avalanche just came out.
Beautiful.
It just came out beautiful.
It looks great.
Everything flowed. Everything, and so the emotional turmoil of.
What the hell?
Security issues.
Yep. Okay, pause. We're back.
The dumbass emotional toll of cutting all that killer results out sucked. But now we're gonna have a bagged and bodied stockboard Avalanche hitting the streets here soon. So.
That almost reminds me of what you're telling the customer. Have a plan, and then you almost should adjust yourself to know that it's going to change.
By this point in the game, I should just assume it's going to change. Yeah, but exactly. I get surprised every time, man. Every time.
All right, Bodied Abby. Sorry, I was saying you're crazy for doing that, but it is pretty sweet. Everybody drop an so an NBS dually.
Actually, we're getting ready to do one for Nick, so stay tuned. Next couple months, we'll have a 2001 8.1 Allison bone stock truck coming in for bags 24s stock Ford.
Wow,
gonna be bitchy.
Okay, cool. Jim Burton, QCO, what up? What up, Uriel? Appreciate all the hard work. Avalanche is really coming together. Where does he live?
He lives way out west.
Okay. PHX, but on the west side?
He's out on like 110th and Bellish area.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, he's way out there.
Like East LA?
Pretty much.
How do these guys find you?
Word of mouth and social media. I really don't advertise. I'm a horrible businessman in that I don't really carry business cards around. I really prefer to be out of sight, underground. I'm not going to be the guy with my inflatable waving.
You want to just lock the doors and put the nose down and.
That's why I enjoy the weekends, man. I come in on the weekends and I close the doors and turn the music up and just kind of ignore the phone and everything. And I'm sure it upsets people, but I'm human.
So now, and not to get too personal, but you're divorced and you never got remarried. You got the boys and just this is your other wife.
Pretty much.
Your girlfriend and your other wife.
No, this is probably sabotaged more relationships than I would care to admit, but again, I'm grateful to be where I'm at. I'm not working in a cube. I'm not working 40 hours a week for somebody else who just is never going to be happy.
Yeah.
So,
cool. Okay. Okay. True. Thanks again, Todd. So this is Moth at 22.
Paul's got the cover dually, and he's building a Porterbuilt-based C10 on his own right now. So
okay.
Yeah. Now, if you go to Instagram and search the hashtag cover dually, you can see Paul's dually. And it's actually
the blue one?
The orange and purple one that was on the cover of Truckin' and Street Trucks in the late 90s.
Orange and purple down low?
It was orange on the bottom, purple. It was all purple with a shell on it was originally featured, and then like a year later, it was no shell, orange and white, or orange and purple.
Okay.
Orange on the bottom, purple on top. But if you search that hashtag, you can see the build pictures. I believe it's currently still in paint jail, right, Paul?
So it's in paint jail.
3+ years now.
And it's coming back here. That's what he's saying.
Is it?
Say, I promise you'll have the dually back this year.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Looking great, fellas. Have a great weekend. Salute. Thank you, Left Coast. Okay, I have nothing but respect for you, buddy. I'm stoked to be able to call you a good friend. Travis.
Yeah, that's one of the funny. Let me tell you a Travis story. Travis called me up out of the blue. When
He's talking about CTP Travis. So if you guys don't know who CTP is, that's a guy
IF Customs,
down to earth, and he is the guy who built the C50, took to SEMA 2019 AccuAir with the Ferrari on the back. CTP. Really good people.
That's how many stories you can tell. You look at Ferrari in the back of my C50. That's who I am. My name's Travis.
My name's CTP.
No, Travis called me out of the blue, and I was a big fan of the IF days, dealing with those guys, watching what those guys were doing. I worked for SRP at the time on my little cube, and I'd search over and troll IF Customs page all the damn time. So Travis called me about wheels, and we had many, many amazing conversations, just cut from the same cloth. Love that dude to death. Humbled to be able to call him my friend.
Cool.
Humbled.
Isn't that cool about how this scene, like the military, you met people.
Mm-hmm.
Some people you clicked with, some people you didn't.
And that's a reality in life.
Yeah,
You're never going to be able to make everybody happy. Part of the evolution of being in business is to be able to identify those people.
Yeah. And you just have to learn, who the people are that you are drawn to, and then make life easy. And
I love dealing with excitable people, man. Let's make something happen. Like I say, like we were talking earlier, let's leave a legacy. Let's build something cool. I'm all about it, man.
Yeah, and he's building. I mean, you don't get this many people coming in to chime in to say, love what you do, thanks for doing what you do, thanks for your service, so on and so forth, unless you're building something really cool. So Travis, thanks for that, dude. Get out in the garage and do something this weekend. Ellis Fab, what's up from Canada? Hot Rod Dave, yes, it is an 80s. Oh, this is Dave. Is this your red truck? It's your dually, right? Yes, okay, it is his dually. So it's the same thing. If you're 6 in the front, you're going to be super low. You're going to have a tough time. I think he actually probably already is. I mean, he's got that thing freaking on the ground. I wonder if he's rubbing already. Hit me up.
Shoot me some messages.
Yeah.
We can bounce back and forth and try and figure out a solution for what your end goal is.
Some of those wheels would be badass on a dually I picked up. Shoot him. He'll cut you any wheel you want. Inner front fender are raised, rear is stock. Yep. Okay, so bow tie. Okay, let's see if this guy wants to come in. Let's see.
Who is it?
I don't know. Bow tie box boy. Let's see. Let's just see.
Not familiar with that gentleman.
FarmersOnly.com. Cold cart. There's nothing wrong with that.
Jeremy cracks me up.
All right, here we go. Let's see.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, we brought you in, dude.
You sure did.
I like me now.
Babe, hit the lights.
Hit the lights. Hit the lights. So, yeah, I think sometimes people don't realize we might bring them in.
Yeah.
Camera Dooley saying that Todd Snowball's on my builds.
He does the same for me.
Oh, so. Yeah, well, now we're cooking with oil.
Look at that pretty face. Look at that pretty face.
What are you working on?
I'm still working on my
your utility. Yeah.
The one for Matador.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah. I gotta do a pan bar. The wheels are kind of rubbing into the bed.
The rear bed. The rear.
Right, but only on a turn. So I know I need some kind of
track bar.
Or
got some suspension flex going on.
Yeah, because so what he has, James has so for the audience, James has one of those old school steppers that has a utility bed bolted onto the side. What is it, like 71, 72, your truck?
69.
69, okay, 69 with a utility bed. And So it's probably like one side when you're driving one way, it's pulling over, it's tracking the bar.
It's the right.
Well, it's probably a combination of some suspension flex and a body roll. So you need to find a way to maybe narrow that axle just a touch. Do you know what axle's in it? 12 bolt, 10 bolt?
12 bolt.
What size wheel and tire are you running?
I'm running 20 by 10s.
On a what size tire?
So in the rear, is it a 295?
I believe so. I'm running out there right now.
All right, let's check it out. That's all right.
All right, let's see this thing here.
I want to see if he's that much meat. He brought it to Matador. Matador had one of his birthday parties, and he was out there. I met him.
Gotcha.
Oh, yeah, we're getting the tour now, James.
There we go. So I'm running.
Oh, you froze. You're switching between Wi-Fi and
your
cell data.
Hey, James, you got to get closer to your router. You broke up because you switched over from your router, your Wi-Fi to your Wi-Fi to your cell. Go ahead. Go say again.
Okay. 55 20s.
This is pretty. That's in the rear.
That's all around.
Oh, okay.
255 what?
20s. 255 20.
255 35, 255 40.
Oh yeah.
What's the second number?
Is it 45? What series?
No, 55s.
50.
Oh, that's a big tire.
Can't see it. Oh, I got some more light.
All right, get some more light.
The other thing you got to be worried about is that generation truck with the factory panhard bar lowered will actually push the axle off to one side slightly, which might be part of your issue as well.
It seems like it usually pulls it to the passenger side because it comes off that driver's side.
It's at an angle, so it pushes it off. So sometimes you.
There you go. Now we can see it. 255. Go the other way.
Otra vez.
Yeah, go the other way right there. 255, 55R, 20. Okay.
It's pretty good tire.
Yeah, you got a lot of meat. We were just talking about that. You're in that Sir Mix-a-Lot. You're running that 55 series.
Literally.
That should be his song. Yeah.
So there we go.
So what's it doing? Is it rubbing on both sides, James?
It's only one side. It's the left. It's that left turn.
Benny's. It's always the right side.
Yeah, it is. It really is because that track bar. On that like he's saying that track bar goes to the left side and then comes down, and it feels like it always wants to pull over there.
Yeah, when you lower that, you're changing the dynamic of that panhard bar, so that might be actually pulling the axle one side if you're noticing a rubbing on one side more than the other.
Right, and I did get the.
There you go. That's actually the next statement I was going to make. I believe McGoy's CPP, they make an aftermarket lowered panhard bar that's supposed to correct that.
Okay.
It
runs from the top all the way down to the.
Yeah, it should replace your factory panhard bar. So from the frame to the factory location. The other thing is with you lowered, if you want to modify that and put a longer panhard bar in, you'll notice your working radius with that larger radius. You'll probably solve that problem as well. You won't notice as much side to side through suspension cycle as you drive.
Okay, I did get the long one.
Okay.
It goes from the top to the
down to the axle, yeah.
Side suspension.
Yeah.
So I did get that.
Yeah, and if the CPP panhard bar doesn't solve your problem, like I say, the other solution might be to actually make a long one, make a custom one, and we can locate that, and then we can make it adjustable to fine tune it.
Oh, nice. That would be awesome.
James.
Thank you.
James, put it on. Let us know. Put some clothes on. Let us know.
How do I do the adjustment?
I don't think there's much adjustment on that. It's just it's like a locking. There's really not that much.
I know the factory one doesn't have any adjustment.
No.
In it. I'm not sure.
I think on that one, James, if there's any adjustment, it's a screwed adjustment, and you just want to center up. You want to lower it and center that up, and see because when you lower it and every time you go lower on that truck, it's going to push it over to one side. So you want to lower that and then center that, tighten it up, and you're trying to get that track bar to pull because by going lower, it's pushing to the other side.
Gotcha.
Pretty much.
All right.
You're just changing the geometry there, so you do a little tweaking.
Self-built fab. All right, James. Thanks Thanks
I
for.
need some help with this thing too.
What do you got? A Chevy 2 Nova?
Yeah.
What is that? Like a 64?
Yeah. 67.
You're better with the 67. The later generations than the early generations. They don't pop any parts for those 62, 63, 64s. The 5, 6, and 7s, they actually make reproduction parts for.
It has a motor in it.
That's a Chevy 2 Nova, right?
You get into the Chevy 2, the Nova.
Because the Malibu is different.
Yeah,
Chevelle.
Yeah. The Malibu Chevelles.
In 64 5, yeah.
Yeah, 64, 5, 6, and then I believe.
Well, somebody's got a 7 right here, right?
Yeah, Johnny next door. I think he's got 2 of them.
Yeah, 6 is my bee's knees.
Yeah, right.
All right, James.
All right, thank you.
Hey, put some pants on.
Pants up.
Can't stop, won't stop.
That's right. Now, you going to be at that C10 meet tomorrow?
No, I messed up. So I know that was at graduation. I thought it was in the morning, and then I found out that it's at night, and I had already made plans, so I won't. So are you going to be out there?
Yes, sir.
Have fun. For all the guys, there's a big C10 meetup tomorrow night, another cruise. I'm going to go out in the morning and burn some fuel or burn some dinosaurs in the morning and just cruise around tomorrow.
Nice. All right. Enjoy.
Okay, see you, James. Happy Memorial Day.
Bye-bye. You too. Thank you.
All right, what else do we got? We got anything on the YouTube trying to...
We got 80 Grit chimed in.
Okay, let's see what he's got.
He's just running his mouth there.
Okay.
Kevin.
Okay.
I nicknamed him 80 Grit because he's a racer.
And he's saying you're 80 Grit.
He's my boy.
Maybe you're 40 Grit.
There you go.
5.7 drop on coilovers on 20, still bottom. So this is C10 something. I have a 5.7 drop on coilovers on 20, still bottoming out. You should not
check the weight of your springs.
Could you tune them up?
You can tune them up, and you when you set them up, you put a certain amount of preload in it. But if he's got a 175-pound spring where he needs a 225-pound spring or a 200-pound spring, check the weighting on the springs that you have. You shouldn't be bottoming out.
What weight should he have?
It depends.
We don't know what you have. So
what do you
tell
have?
us what you have. If you have, so for the audience over on the gram, he's got a C10 as his name, 5.7 drop, and a coilover on 20s. Still bottoming out. I assume it's probably just a regular C10, but that's surprising to me that a 5.7 he's bottoming out with the coil.
It's got to be something to do with the spring rate on the coilover spring that he's got. I would probably say he could have a heavier spring.
Tuning in with the wife. This is AV. Tuning in with the wife from Cali. What's up? What's up? What are you gonna do with that clean 2-door Tahoe you got?
How does he know I have a 2-door Tahoe?
I don't know. Somebody does.
Somebody's
scoping your
I
shit.
do have a 99 super clean, just over 100,000 mile, beautiful 2-door Tahoe. It only had we wheeled and dealed for it. It will be up for sale soon. We put new wheels and tires on it, and we're gonna lower it a little more respectable stance, and then
OG paint.
Yeah, it's like a 106,000 mile original 350 4L60.
Yeah.
Beautiful truck. It's like a dark burgundy color tan interior. It's got the tailgate, not the barn doors.
Yeah, I'm not a barn door.
No,
I know Travis from AZ Pro loves those barn doors. I do not like those barn doors.
We need to talk to Travis.
I do not like those barn doors. I don't want to look. I want to look in my mirror and see a window and see out the back. I don't want to see. I'm not driving a freaking work truck. Yeah, somebody knows. 2-door Tahoe, so he's all fired up. Self-built fab, man. This is great. Okay, let's see. So we're pretty much cut up there. Unless the C10 guy chimes back in there, we're good there. And we're going over here. Lift the glass.
Long beds bolt up to chassis cab specs? I'm not sure I understand that.
Do long beds bolt up? Yeah, there's no.
Are you asking about the cab and chassis axles? What?
That's a long time ago. That's his name. Valey DSGG. I got my glasses on too. Re-ask that question. Translate it for us, and we'll try to hit it on the YouTube. So his question was C10, C30, and then rock, and then he said, "Lowboy killing it. Do long beds bolt up to chassis cab specs?"
I'm assuming you're asking about the cab and chassis axles. I really don't like dealing with the cab and chassis axles because they're roughly 9.5 inches narrower. They do swap into.
What does that mean? What does a cab and chassis axle mean?
Okay. Cab and chassis axles.
We're going deep.
Cab and chassis. You want to go deep? We'll talk about the 99 and 2000 dualies as well. Cab and chassis axles were typically on trucks that came from the dealer with no beds. They'd end up with dump trucks, ambulance bodies, blah, blah, blah.
Service trucks?
Service trucks, correct. Okay. A lot of times, all they really are 3/4 ton axles with the 1 ton hubs on. Your cabin chassis axles are about 9.5 inches narrower than your corporate 14 bolts or your Dana 70s.
How do you tell? Because when I see a 14, I see a Dana 60.
Most of your square bodies are going to have Dana 70s in it, and the quickest way to tell that is look at the diff cover. If it only has 10 bolts, it's a Dana 70. The axle tubes are pushing 4 inches to where your corporate 14 bolts are 3.5, 3 inches.
But how do you tell if it's one of the service bed cabin?
It's
chassis?
narrow. The wheel mount surface. The wheel mount surface is in the 61, 62 degree or inch range. And to be honest with you, it's a little too narrow for me. It ruins the spatial orientation of the truck. It actually sucks the rear wheels in too much for me.
So, in layman's terms, what I would think is a guy is going to say, well, I get this axle, I don't have to narrow my axle, and that's is that what he's asking?
There's two things. The typical process is to swap in a 3/4 ton single wheel axle, but that only really works if you're going to run a 22 or larger wheel. If you're going to continue to run a 16 and you want a narrow axle,
which was really like Yellowstone had a single rear wheel.
Right.
That would be.
But if you look at the drum on it, the drum specs are only 6-8 inches to where the drum specs on a 1 ton are probably 11-12 inches.
Yeah.
So the offset on that rear hub. So you could put a cabin chassis.
But you could change all that out, right?
Correct.
Especially you're going to go to disc brakes anyway,
well,
right?
Cabin chassis. Man, there's so many variables here. If you wanted to run an inside 16, you would probably want a cabin chassis axle because the brake setup will clear that 16-inch wheel. I'm not a big advocate of running an inside 16 on an outside 22. It does work. A 225, 75, 16 and a 265, 35, 22 are effectively the same overall height, but the difference in the flex and the sidewall, you will notice it's a tire wear issue.
So that's crazy. So guys are, so obviously, because I'm not in the dually world, but that's why we're here. So guys are going to run a 16, save some money.
Yep.
On the inside, they got an inside brake.
Yep.
And then they're going to run a 22 on the outside. Yep. It looks good.
Which is if
so. What your tire is
well, you run the inside E or F load rated tire, but that sidewall is 7.5 inches versus
yeah.
mid-canter.
Oh, because it ends. A lot of times, what'll happen is it'll end on the hour mark.
Gotcha.
So we just go okay. So we'll delete the video and we'll delete, and then we'll go here. We'll just let it clear out, and it's actually good. I should be doing it more because what it does is
bog and bind down.
Well, no, it tells everybody. So when I go to do it again right now, so I'm going to go live again right now, and what it does is I got to hit this little button right there, and then I'm going to go over here and go to live, and now it will tell everybody, hey, C10 Talks live. So if I let it go for, let's say, an hour, it'll stop you at an hour. It doesn't send an alert to anybody.
Oh, that's right.
But if somebody's just chilling, their daughter's play or listen to their wife,
bring it to people's attention.
They're like, and then it'll go, boom, C10 Talks live. And they're like, oh yeah, I forgot, he's going to be live with Lowboy tonight. So if you do that, some of these guys will they'll clear in and out all the time.
Oh, gotcha.
And what that does is that it's really just a way to go in, go out. And the guy, if I lose you, so let's say you were at home right now watching, you'd be like, oh, he's back, he's live. Oh, where'd he go? Oh, he's back again. Gotcha. It doesn't really matter. So most part they'll come back, and you might even get more. So now I bet because Barbie wanted to go live before, we'll see if he can go live. Screenshot if he comes in. So what'll happen is right here. So now he's asking to come in. So I'm gonna bring him in, and then we'll split screen him. And so he's gonna come in, and we're gonna be like, what's up? What's up?
Olale.
Olale. Olale. We're living. Oh, what's up? What's up?
Hey guys.
What are you up to? Some couch time?
Yeah, we've been watching you from the beginning, and Kelsey keeps going, when are they going to cut to us? When are they going to cut to us?
Well, I think what happens is once you guys fall too far, I go all the way back and I can't find it.
Yeah. No, I got my little Chevy helper here, and we've been watching you the whole time, and I just plug her ears when you throw your F-bombs.
No, I'm trying to be good.
What is it? Earmuffs. Earmuffs.
Yeah, earmuffs.
Earmuffs.
Hey, she wants to walk you out real quick and show you what Lowboy's going to work on hopefully here in June.
All right, let's see it.
It's not a dually.
Oh. Is it blue?
Yeah. Hold on, no. Just go
not that one.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
that one first, yeah.
Oh, he's going to...
We have some irons in the fire for the one that he just picked up, but our initial situation is with the Blazer.
He's gonna do get this thing a a little lower to the ground and put some 4-wheel disc brakes and some coilovers on it for us.
Nice.
A little more gooder.
Yeah, a little more gooder. Yeah, yeah. Be careful back. But before you know it, Kelsey, you'll be driving that thing anyways.
Yeah, Dad's gonna come racing out of the living room when he hears it fire up and leave in the garage. Like, what the hell?
Hey.
So have you both on yet, real quick. What do you think about taking this roll bar out?
Well, if it's I don't know.
It's bolted.
No, it'll come out. It's not a problem to come out. Yeah. It's just a safety issue.
I got a 5.3, probably pushing 280 horsepower. It's
281. You told me.
Yeah,
shut up.
Yeah. Well, I know what you do for a living, so you've been on a few rolled over vehicles. I would probably take it out if I was you, just for cruising, because it's no different.
It's not 1972.
Yeah.
You either take it out or you add 4 more. Those are your options.
I like where it's
got to be chrome.
Chrome with lights on top.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Cut the little recess out. We're right by Flying High. I'll be over with some light covers for you.
Some smiley face KCs.
It's gonna be totally bitching. Trust me.
We'll go with the Matador look, but just lower.
There you go.
Well, the Matador looks pretty tight, but yeah, I would probably cut that thing out, or just unbolt it.
Hey Todd, we wanted to also tell you, Memorial Day's Monday. We know you're here. Memorial Day tends to be for the guys in the past, but we appreciate you serving. I've got to know LOWBOY somewhat over the last, year or two, and he and I are very similar people, kind of dry.
Yeah.
Not direct. Not a great. We don't crack a smile a whole lot, but I like that guy, and I feel if I wasn't in the far west Valley, I'd probably be hanging out with Todd a lot more. But
no, that's another one of those. I mean, I've known of Mark for years now. I remember walking by that 63 back in the day. So again, it's another one of those relationships that we've been able to cultivate, and I'm humbled to be called.
Well, I appreciate you. I'm going to watch you till you guys are done tonight, but I'll let you guys.
Hey, don't leave. I want to tell you something real quick. Kind of ironic that you're on today. So my interview for Tuesday is with a guy by the name of Rob Fortier, and he's starting a new magazine. And it's called Classic Truck Performance. Well, while I'm interviewing him, I continue to tell him about this guy that was in print magazine, and he couldn't remember the guy's name, and I couldn't remember the guy's name. So today, I got the boxes out, and ironically, the one magazine that I found what I needed was your Cover Truck magazine.
You better recognize.
Yeah, Custom Classic. And so
Hey, I'm out in my garage, so watch this.
There you go. That's it.
Right?
Yeah. MarkBarbie.com right there on the back, dude.
No, it's okay. They're not going to say.
Hey, what happens if I log on to that? Where does it go?
No, it goes to my side business now.
It does?
It goes to my teaching. It goes to my medical teaching deal.
Yeah, I didn't know if it went to gay porn or something. I wasn't sure. Sorry, Kelsey.
She's like, yo.
All right, Mark. Thanks for tuning in, bro.
Thanks for checking in.
Hey, bye, Kels.
Are you guys coming tomorrow to hang out?
I'm actually not. I'm going in the morning. I got my time messed up. I thought that it was in the morning, and I have previously made plans for tomorrow. You going to be there?
Ronnie's decided he doesn't like C10s anymore.
Yeah, I don't think that'll happen. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I bet you Todd's riding his mountain. Todd's probably riding his mountain bike with the helmet on tomorrow.
Hey, safety's not an accident.
Are you taking the Blazer or are you taking the crew cab?
Oh, it's crew cab.
Oh yeah. All right, cool.
Yeah, this one's turned into Libby's car.
This was my favorite.
Nice. Yeah.
Okay, you guys have a good,
okay.
You have a good night.
See you, bro. See you, Mark. Take care, man.
Okay, bye.
See, I love when guys come in. Sure. Okay, bow tie. So yeah, he's because we brought him in. Let me think of another question for you. Okay, so they got that something generic. Okay, so we talked about wheels. We talked about the price of wheels. What's a turnaround right now on a wheel? So if a guy,
we're between 3 and 5 weeks. If you're looking for like a standard round hole setup, we can knock that out about 3.5 weeks from point of payment to delivery. Delivery's all screwed up right now. They're on their own schedule. Really, I mean, we're always at their mercy, but even more so a little bit now. But stuff is getting out.
What happens if a guy, and I think either you told this to me or through figuring some different things out, but because I was trying to figure out what to do with my tow truck. Now I since sold that, but I think the key is if you buy a used set of Alcoas, like an old set of truck wheels, and I believe just from my information was you're way better off just finding a new set. The amount of money you save and the safety.
I don't deal in used wheels anymore because by the time I hunt down a set of matching wheels, have them acid washed, mildly polished, and milled, versus making a phone call and my vendor sending them the next day.
Yeah.
You know, I'm literally making a phone call versus spending a day and a half, 2 days trying to facilitate used wheels. So I don't deal in used wheels most of the time. I do have a network of guys. They'll call me up out of the blue saying I've got 10 fleet trucks with like 10,000 miles on them, brand new Alcoas, and I'll snatch those up. I bought a couple hundred at a time like that, and then I pass those. I don't sell them as new.
Yeah.
There are some companies out there that sell used wheels at new. So be wary of that. But and then I do facilitate people who want to save a little money and want to do the legwork. You want to send me wheels. I have like 3 or 4 sets here where people have sent me the wheels. We'll mill them, mountain balance them, and send them out the road.
Do you have some universal designs that when a customer, they can look at your website and say, I really like that? Like for example, I mean, different cuts.
The unfortunate reality is I don't have a portfolio, again, because the wheel side of what we do here on a day-to-day is a small fraction. So I don't have a portfolio to say, here's what we can do. A lot of times we can mimic just about any cut you want. If you have an idea, a lot of times we'll render it in SolidWorks to give you a visual representation. Or if you have something that, I mean, we've mimicked other wheels because of broken, cracked wheels, places that aren't our business. I just got a set of wheels in from California that were not cut correctly, and the guy was dealing with vibration issues and fitment issues on the tires. So we will facilitate people's needs if they want to provide us for wheels. But we've also run into problems where a lot of times your used wheels that you're finding at these salvage yards are million-mile wheels.
Yeah.
And the outside edge will be ribboned to a degree, and it will affect our ability to cut and fit a tire. So, I mean, what we're doing, we're putting semi-wheels on dually trucks. The other big thing that people really misunderstand is the cost increase in dealing with a dually and buying 50% more wheels. Just assume everything's going to be more expensive.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the wheels are heavier. You're buying 6 instead of 4. Adapters, caps, covers, tires. Yeah. Dualies aren't cheap. You can't get into a dually project and expect to spend less money than more. It's just the reality.
You need to make a shirt like that.
Right.
How do you feel like you got into the big rig stuff? Like when you think about,
I come from a long line of over-the-road truck drivers. I have my own CDL. I used to drive truck. I have a deep-rooted fascination. I mean, I was 4 years old standing in the passenger seat of my dad's 74 352 Peterbilt, and I put my head against the windshield and I just watched the road disappear into the truck. So it was ingrained in me at a very, very young age, and there's nothing better than a dually laid out on big wheels.
When you started kind of getting into that, what was one of your first builds that said, okay, I'm going to start putting dually stuff? Did you see other guys doing it, or did you kind of just say we're doing it?
We weren't the first to do wheels. We were on the leading edge of that. I think the first time we put semi wheels on a light duty 1-ton was probably like 04, 05, and I'm sure if we went back and revisited some of the results, they were horrible. But that's where we started developing. I love OBS generation trucks. I absolutely love the body style. I think it's one of the best body styles out there. And we just kind of went down that path. There was no intent.
So, being a dually guy, I'm surprised that you didn't, you didn't go with like a crew on your truck. What was your thoughts on that?
Like my white and red and white standard cab? Yeah. I got so much. I bought that truck from BGB Steel in 01 or 02. And I ended up bagging and bodying it on 16s and drove it like that daily for like 7 years. Love that truck. Drove it like it was stolen. Just beat the piss out of it. 2009, 2010, I'm in negative camber, Brotherhood, blah, blah, blah. I was talking with Courtney Hallowell. We all know Courtney.
Yep, R.I.P.
Yep, for sure. And him and I were starting to cultivate a relationship, and I was going to do some work on that green and black 50, 51, whatever year that was. And he ended up passing away, so I didn't have that opportunity. We ended up doing some tail end work on it. But we were slated for SEMA 2010, and we were supposed to take originally a two-door Tahoe. Courtney was going to help us with wheels. We were going to run 24-inch Colorado Customs. It was going to be bitching. And
unheard of.
Yeah, and then he got sick, passed away, and I still had the SEMA spot that I had to fill for Truckin' Magazine. And I just wrecked that dually, actually. The whole front end was pushed about 2 feet back. So I was like, let's do it. Leon Redmond stepped up, Jesse Mathieson, Rob Hansen, Justin King. I know I'm forgetting a couple people. But there was like 3-4 weeks before SEMA 2011 where we just shut down and painted that truck and put it together and hauled ass to SEMA. And we figured, like, again, 2010, 2011, dualies were not popular. Yeah. And I got so much shit for driving a standard cab long bed dually. But what made it worth it is walking around SEMA and the old timers going, I used to have a farm truck like that. I never thought it would be that nice. My dad, I finally got him. I'm going to get a little emotional here. My dad passed away in 2013. He's a career truck driver, workaholic. Again, I am my father's son. And I convinced him to take some time off and come to SEMA 2011. So I got to show my dad what I do. We had a truck displayed in the trucking booth at SEMA. So that was a real special moment for me. But as everything's evolved, dualies have gotten so popular, and everybody loves a standard cab these days. And I'm just like, you sons of bitches. You sons of bitches.
Isn't it funny how it helps you as a business, but now you're like, you sons of bitches. Mm-hmm. Like I knew that shit was cool. Yep. I remember I looked at a copper and white 73, and you're like, it was probably about 8 years ago. You're like, I didn't have the balls to do it. I mean, it's cool because I love the color, but I never envisioned it being like this. Right. You know what I mean? So now I remember, God damn.
Not to name drop, Blaisdell from Just Plain Trick, this was years ago, 25 years ago, 20 years ago. He had that extended cab Toyota pickup. And I remember when I found out he had trimmed the firewall to fit the 20s at the time. And I remember just being blown away. It's like, he got the firewall. That's so insane. Yeah. And with what we're doing now, it's ridiculous. But, you figure that was probably 98, 99. He got the firewall.
You can't do that.
You can't do that. That's impossible. Yeah.
How do you? What's something that you look at? Like, is there a group like you said, Stone? Okay, mm-hmm. So you and Stone are good. I mean, all these guys.
Well, it's funny is Jake's got the 9906 front kits down and the OBS kits down. There's no point in me developing a jig and making control on. Jake extends me a professional courtesy that I haven't earned. He's been amazing to me. Again, another gentleman that I'm humbled to call my friend. Literally call my friend. But he's got that shit down. So before we even really were on that level, I'd be like, just call Jacob Stone. He's got the OBS shit. Well, then I started getting phone calls. Just called Todd at Lowboy. He's got the dually shit. So we were sending each other work before we even interacted.
If you were giving that love back, if you were like, oh yeah, I'll do it, then that's where there's like a life lesson learned there. That's like, it's like, not only did you not swoop all his shit, he already had it. You sent it. It ended up giving itself back, right? Yeah. And then you get a friendship out of it that's lifelong. I wouldn't.
Jake and I's interaction, I wouldn't trade for the world.
Yeah, I don't know anything.
For the world, man.
I've never heard anything bad about that guy, to be honest with you.
He's just good. Those pretty blue eyes of his, man. It just makes you fall in love.
He's not. I'm straight, dude, and he's not hard to look at. So do you have anybody that's like a shop that you look to that you admire?
Locally?
No, anywhere. I don't care.
Well, I was spitballing here. There's
a builder. Let's go a builder.
The advent of social media has really opened the doors to pull the blinds back and see what some of these guys are doing. And there's a ton of people doing some amazing stuff out there. Stoner Speed Shop, what he does.
He's gay. Suck it, Stoner.
The guy out of Havasu, the pure metal or pure making the crew cab 55 cabs.
Oh my God, how freaking that
Little Shop. Yeah. Little Shop building those dualies is like, how the fuck do you keep up with that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Little Shop is amazing.
I'm done.
I'll be honest with you, even Roaster Shop, the stuff that they do at their level is just
for sure.
The amount of money, the amount of this how precise, how clean. I mean, the cool thing is social media has one dudes, 5 dudes, 25 dudes, 50 dudes. It's
it's
But do you have anybody when you that you're like, I follow that guy, I want to know what he posts. When he posts, he or she, they build stuff. Do you look at? Is there a shop? Is there a guy?
I mean, there's a few. To be honest with you, I stay in my hole and I'm probably oblivious to the world around me. And I don't know if that's good or bad. There's several shops. That Lab Ranch guy out of Oregon, he's doing some amazing stuff. To be honest with you, Metalox and what's that other younger kid that just started up doing the sheet metal stuff?
Oh, like Radfab?
Radfab, yeah. No, I love watching those guys.
Yeah.
You know, you got these. I love seeing these young guys with some drive. It
gives you faith in humanity.
Well, like I said, the young guys I got working for me, it really reinstills the faith in that generation.
Yeah, and that workmanship. And they're out there. Yeah, they're out there. I mean, it's and we should be pretty happy about that, because if they don't, then we're all screwed.
We're screwed,
right?
Yeah. Because
guys like Todd can't do it forever, even though he's going to be 90.
We're going to try.
He's going to be 90, working 90 hours a week. That's his retirement job.
Well, like I said, my father worked himself to death, so there's a good chance I will as well. So, yeah.
Well, no, I think you're smarter and wiser. Yeah, you're a little smarter and wiser.
Don't ever call me that again.
Yeah, you son of a bitch. Let's do the pod for 6 hours today, Colorado to Utah on the road trip today. Love you, Ronnie. Pinnacle C10, thank you. I appreciate that. Used truck wheels are junk. Cold Cart, I want to send mine back and have them out. Hey, so real quick, a PSA announcement for Cold Cart. He does love men, and he does subscribe to farmersonly.com. But he's doing his Memorial Cruise thing on Memorial Day, and that doesn't mean that he is having the cruise in Reno and Nevada. He's just saying, if you cruise on Monday, hashtag Memorial or Freedom Cruise, I should say. Freedom Cruise, hashtag Freedom Cruise. That's all. So that's it. I want to get that one out there. Cold Cart, thank you. You can't turn a half-ton into a dually.
That's not true.
Yeah, you can. You can turn it. That's what's great about Chevy trucks. Square Dude, what up, Bruce? Thank you for your service, Bruce.
Bruce is a badass, man.
Bruce is a badass.
He's got some stories that'll make your eyes wide.
He has stuff that people don't even know.
You'd never guess. He's just so happy and smiling all the time. It's like, oh, you've seen some shit, dude.
Okay, so not with that attitude, Mrs. Parker. Well, what attitude? What do you got? Love, LS, okay, yeah, LS Fab. The boys are working it hard. Let's see what we got here on I traded for it. What's he saying?
Is that the coilover guy?
No. Sweet Hat Ronnie, where did you get that from? I got that from Todd. So this is AV. Okay, I wanted to see where was our guy? Where was Vale DSGG? Okay. All right, so I think, what up, Matador, you slacker? Somebody woke up and decided to come to work. Todd knows what I'm actually talking about. Not a dually. Oh, self-built fab. Not a dually. There's always inside joke. Salute, Bruce. Bam. I don't mess with Bruce. What do they say? Yeah, that's what it was. No, what was it? Don't mess with something. Wasn't that a thing when we were a kid? Bruce, thank you for your service. Exactly. Okay, 58-59 Slam. You want to talk about funny. If we can get him to come in. You going to come in, bro? You going to come in from down there, from down under? Friggin' Jason. Okay, Cold Cart, we got you covered. Let's see. Let's give another. So we got. I'm fishing for a shop. How about the best and worst build that you've ever come in your shop that you've been asked to build? And I know when I say the worst, you're probably not gonna articulate quite to the way that.
I have no desire to throw anybody under the bus. I don't know the position.
Unless they have nice dually wheels on the bus.
Right. True. They're probably not round though.
Yeah, they're not round.
To be honest with you, that one right there is probably one of the worst I've seen, and
that's an NBS, right?
That is an 0405 Victor's 0405 crew cab. The axle was inches off side to side. The notch was off.
Previous work or was wrecked or
previous work?
Okay.
Previous work. It was. I know the guy that did it. I'm not trying to.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all dealing with budget and stuff like that, but if there's anything that I can impress upon people is
you get what you pay for.
You get what you pay for, and cheap is not always good. And at this point in time, if you walk into a shop and they have no work, turn around and walk away. Anybody in this industry doing good things is going to be busy, going to be a backlog. Just be patient, man. We're dealing. My perspective is I think I talked to Rome about this. Is you and I don't know each other. You're going to come give me a truck that you obviously have an emotional tie to, and you're going to give me a bunch of money. I'm not going to disregard that interaction. It's a novel interaction. And in any other perspective in life, you're not going to give me 10 grand and walk away. So I really don't take that lightly, and it's taken years to get that trust.
Yeah, I think that's cool. I've never really heard it put that way. You almost have to convey that to the customer. Like, dude, this becomes, I'm taking your child in, and I'm a foster parent.
You have an emotional tie to a vehicle, and we as an American culture, we love our vehicles. Now I have your safety in my hands. I have the safety around you. I have your family safety in your hands. I don't take that lightly. Yeah. That means if somebody got hurt in something that I built, it would probably destroy me. I value human life way too much.
Plus their passion.
Yeah.
Right? It's the safety and their passion.
And that's the other frustrating part is I get a lot of people that come through here, and I will try and bid jobs probably a little bit on the high side because there's always something unforeseeable. And, if I quote you 8-10 grand for something and you walk in, I was like, hey, we're 7 grand total. You're going to like me better. Versus if I tell you 4 or 5 grand and I was like, it was 12 grand, ran into problems because I'm hurting so bad, or I'm just going to get the job in to get some cash flowing, and then I hit you with the bill. Mm-hmm. So just trying to be real with people is something that it's always been a priority for me. I'm sorry. Just be honest. Here's what I see.
I think the testimony is there. If guys are chiming in, if one of the things that's kind of crazy is when I have to be careful. There's people out there that if I brought in Acura right now, dude, it would not be. There would be a lot of frustrated people, right. So I love those guys. They were always good to me, but I understand the audience, right? So I have to say, and there's other companies out there that, let's just say there's a shop, I don't even know, XYZ Acme. Right. No, Acme is a shop. So, Coyote, I don't know. So if guys were piping up, they would blow this up. Right. They would say, that mother effer, that dick, that this. These guys are saying, Todd's the man.
Well, we'll take a win where we can, right?
Yeah. All right, let's see if we can get our boy in. He's down under laying brick. Seriously, he's in Australia. G'day. Let's go add. Come on. Let's see.
It's a long connection.
It is a long connection. He's. Oh! What are you doing?
Laying bricks, bro.
Is it cold or what?
Yeah, we're heading into winter now. Had a bit of rain before.
Are you really heading into winter? Am I that retarded that I don't even realize you guys are heading into winter?
You didn't realize the axis of the Earth and the change?
I don't pay attention.
Science?
No, science. I don't pay attention. So.
Look at the garage I built behind me.
That's. Oh my God.
2 days, 1 man.
2 days, 1 man. That should be a new shirt.
Yeah.
You usually got to pay extra for that.
Yeah, you got to pay extra for that. That's your side. Hey, 2 days. You should have been on your normal job yesterday, not side work yesterday.
Sorry?
You should have been on. Yeah, you can't be doing side work all the time. I thought this was.
It's my normal job.
I know, but I thought you were doing some beer money work the other time we talked to you.
No, I'm always doing beer money. It's always like that.
Priority number 1 is beer money, right?
How many guys helped you with that? You said 2 days, 1 guy.
Today I was by myself, but yesterday I had a labourer, and he's a little bit under the weather today because he had a bit to drink, and so he left me by myself to finish off.
And you did all that in 2 days?
It's a garage. Look at this house. I built this whole house. But I done the garage now, but the whole house I built before. It's in Bondi, bro. This is like worth about $4 million. This house when it's finished.
Wow.
1 brick at a time, right?
But I'm laying bricks for the stars.
You are a
you
are a star.
No, I want to be.
Hey, next time we do this, we need to do it with you, with your truck in the background in the shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, instead of you always. Is it about lunchtime again? Last time it was about noon.
Just after lunch, yeah.
Did you already have lunch? Did you kick back and have a Vegemite sandwich?
No. My wife makes dinner and she makes extra, so I had a bit of South American food.
How do they make those bricks local?
Yeah, these are local. Yeah, not from China. It's one thing we don't get from China. We got the virus.
You don't have it.
Give that to everybody.
You don't have it. You're good. So how much longer?
I don't know if I can get to the get down this year.
Why?
Well, even if you have it, right, in Australia, whoever travels overseas, when you come back, you have to be prepared to spend 14 days in quarantine.
Oh, Jesus.
So if I go there, then I've got to come back, and then they're going to put me in a hotel for 14 days.
That's as of the virus now. That's kind of a new policy.
Yeah, it's been like that for about a month or so now, like that. But I think it's good. They're not going to lift this one. This one will stay for a long time. The travel ban will be the last thing to be lifted.
Yeah, I think that's what's going on around here too. They're not sure. But I think by November it's going to be different.
Yeah, but even if I could travel there, they won't lift the travel ban. They'll make me stay 14 days in quarantine.
Tell them you're a bricklayer and you'll do work for them.
Tell them I was there helping Donald build the wall.
I don't. That's a good one. They might keep you here. Donald might keep you here.
Maybe. He's trying to call me. He's following me.
Oh, yeah, I bet the real Donald Trump is like, hey, you guys ever hear of that 58, 59 slams? He's a good son of a bitch.
He's a good dude.
They don't say that. They say the C word down there a lot. A lot.
Part Australian because it's one of my favorites.
A lot.
Heaps.
Yeah, we know. All right, dude. Get back to work.
All right, bro. Take it easy, eh?
Okay. I'll talk to you later. Be safe.
It's a regular event.
I know. Every Friday, chime in. I'll be back next Friday with Sam.
Beautiful.
Come in next Friday.
No problem.
Okay, later, brother.
Take it easy. Bye-bye.
Let's see. Here's hope so. I got SEMA show to attend. Yeah, I think SEMA. What do you think? You think SEMA's gonna? How about this Hanyaker? What a stud this guy is.
Moose. You can't just not look at him. I mean, that beard and that face.
How sexy is that guy?
I find myself going stupid every time I ever talk to him.
Oh my God.
Like,
I love that guy.
Moose.
What do you think about SEMA? What do you think's gonna happen? Think they're gonna have it?
I think they're gonna try.
What do you think about like people coming from all over the world and coming to that one spot? What I mean, I don't know.
I mean, it's chaos whether there's a virus to deal with or not, right?
That's why I wonder. I wonder if I'm Lowboy or if I'm some guy and I'm in Missouri and I've got a company, I'm gonna be like, I'm not sending your ass there to freaking be around millions of freaking thousands of people, and then you're gonna come back here to. I don't know. I wonder what's gonna happen.
To try and make an assumption based off of the information that we know, you can't do it because you don't know what's reality, what's true, what's false.
Well, what's going to happen in November?
Right, but that's what I'm saying. You know, we'll be through summer, stuff starts cooling off.
Because in Arizona, dude, I don't know what you think. My impression is
my day-to-day hasn't changed.
No, at 2 weeks in Arizona from now, we're going to be like
110 plus.
Yeah.
It'll kill the virus.
Yeah, at least that's what we'll say. That's what we'll say in Arizona. We'll say, nah, we're fine. But it does seem like things are getting back to normal. So for sure, I think that things are just about as long as Dino's happens. I don't know if it's going to happen. I think Dino's is going to happen. I know right now they're planning on it, but we'll see what happens. We'll see. I don't know. Do you have a booth up there at Dino's?
Dino's, yeah.
Yeah.
Dino's another one that's extended me. Been very cordial, very respectful.
Yeah, he's great.
I mean, to be honest with you, Dino and I used to butt heads with Dino's. My red and black, or my red and white dually, when it was flat black, he was convinced that it was, I think it was Buddy Marks. And it wasn't. I bought that truck bone stock, so, you know, that.
So you just thought you.
Yeah, every time I saw him, I mean, we're talking like the ASU days, Kiwanis Park days.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a long time ago. And he was like, oh, my buddy Mark built that truck. Nope, it didn't. He didn't. But Dino's been very, very cordial to me. We did the wheels on his white standard cab last year. He's afforded me, respected the small nature of my business.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
What do you see coming through here the most right now? When you break down, so give them. So, you know, one of the things that I kind of typed up, or I would say that I posted is, hey, he's not just known for, you know, he's known for 8-lug.
Right.
8-lug love, I think is right. But you, dude, you're bagged and bodied. You're doing everything.
Anything, yeah. I mean, we have the one thing that I really don't do a lot of work on is mini trucks. Toyotas, S10s. I think in the 20 plus years I've been doing this, I've maybe bagged 5. Everything has been full size and up.
Do you think that mini truck guys try to do it all on their own?
Definitely.
So I think smaller and easier.
The price point to get into an S10 or a Toyota is much less, especially this day and age with the price influx of OBSs and square bodies. And I think that's a rite of passage for most of us. We all
that's exactly.
Got to try and do it ourselves. The frustrating thing is for me is this is a lifestyle for me, and not to the point where I'm wearing the Dickies and the bandana and being a bro, but I don't really enjoy the shows. I really don't enjoy the social activities. I enjoy going down the freeway at 80 miles an hour, an inch off the ground with the tunes pumping and people outside their comfort zone going, what's going on? And I got, barely handling the steering wheel and she's going down the road straight and it's like glass. That's what gets me excited.
Yeah. Well, it's, I never really heard it that way, but like when we go to Texas or we go to like
the journey,
the cruise of the Pines, whatever it is, when you're sitting back and you're in your vehicle, that's a different facet of it. We don't think about it like, okay, the shows is a facet. Right. Sit around, drink beer, talk about the builds. Look at what Todd's doing. Yep. Look what this guy's doing. Look what Travis is doing. But then when you're in the vehicle, it's like
you're in your moment, man.
Well, sometimes people will say, hey, I got to go to Vegas or Utah. I got to pick this up. Mm-hmm. I'll go with you. I'm like, no, I don't want you to go with me.
Right.
I just want to lock it down.
For sure.
I want to lock it down. Sometimes for me, I used to live out in Queen Creek, and when I would drive into the fire station, it was like a 30-minute drive. Now I'm pretty close. I'm in town, but I used to really enjoy that time.
That moment of solitude where you could just kind of shut the
wheel.
world out from the
Yep, just behind the wheel, man. Sipping on my coffee and just rolling. You know what I mean? And so there's something to be said about that, whether a guy's behind the wheel or a guy's in a shop. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That's where when I hear a guy say, I want to build a house and have a shop at my house, that's a little bit, that can get crazy. Because then sometimes you can't separate the two.
It's definitely something that weighs on me, but again, we're 20 plus years into this and we've matured and I'm thinking about the long game, setting the foundation for long-term goals. I could really give a shit about something that's instantaneous at this point in my life.
Isn't it funny how, like you said, when you were young, that's what drives you then, and that's what's different now.
Yep.
As long as you can reflect back on that and go, well, I got to remember that's who I was.
That's the definition of your character, is being able to look back and reflect.
Yeah. Well, one of my favorite sayings is, what you get when you don't get what you thought you wanted is experience. And that's what's this here? What do we got?
Ratty Rocco. She
can't wait to cruise in Rocco.
She's got a 61 C20 that
61 C20.
C20.
Okay. Pig nose?
Yes, pig nose with pig nose. She's a hoot, man.
Where's Ratty Rocco out of?
She lives in
here?
East Mesa. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No,
cool.
She's a local. Her and her boyfriend come by all the time, and we talk about the truck, and we're getting parts together, and that actually should be in here in the next month or so.
Hey, DM me, Ratty Rocco. I want to see this truck. I don't want to forget.
Oh, she'll tell you about it.
All right, I want to see it. Y'all ever come across any 2-wheel drive full-size Blazers?
Right there.
Yeah, there's one right there. This is Testa Dura 13. They're out there. They're not the easiest to find, but they're out there. You can find them.
The nice thing about the 2-wheel drive Blazers is the frames are essentially the same. So if you had the fortitude, you can swap in the factory cross member and turn any 4-wheel drive Blazer into a 2-wheel drive Blazer.
And that is exactly what I'm doing with my 77.
Yeah, I think like 70-80% of the holes line up. You only got to drill a couple to put the factory suspension.
So that's what I'm going to do with my 77. If you watched last week's episode, I showed you a little bit. I think I'm going to call it Appaloosa. It's brown and white with a yellow trim because it's 77, and it's going to be cool. So I think I'm going to 2-wheel drive convert it with a stock cross member.
Less is more, man.
Yeah, less is more. So she's in New Jersey, or they are in New Jersey. So I don't know about in New Jersey. I'm in New Jersey. Missed a few.
You want to talk about trucks? She'll talk your ear off.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, will do. There you go. All right. Lewis, what up? Undisputed, dually shit. Square body pick now. Hard to find them over the East Coast. If you do, they're almost always rusted. Oh, Blazers.
We're jaded here in Arizona. We are definitely spoiled with our lack of rust issues.
So Testa, so YouTube, his question or her question or their question is, anyone ever mount a Blazer body on a 2-wheel drive short bed?
Yes, the wheelbases are slightly different. You do need to compensate for that.
So the wheelbase on a Blazer is, I think, 105. The wheelbase on a short bed is 115.
Something like that.
Yep. And then I think a long bed is 127, I think. So for that's for 67, 72. So depending, but you definitely have to make some modifications. You could still find a frame though. Right. I think you could find a frame. If you find the Blazer, that's fine. But I still think you can find a frame. And anymore, anybody will make a frame.
It goes back to the previous statement. If you can find a solid 4-wheel drive frame, you can turn that into a 2-wheel drive chassis. Actually, we just sold the chassis off of this. Already had a 3.5 drop on it, brakes, complete roller, fuel tank, and everything for like $1,200.
Yeah.
So
yeah, what about that? Yeah.
I put it out there. You just weren't watching.
No, I wasn't.
I wasn't on your
That
radar.
is tough.
It's cool.
That's tough. Who bought it?
I'm not.
What are they going to do?
The owner of this truck ended up having a buddy, I believe, who has a 4-wheel drive. They're going to put that tub on and turn it into a factory.
Yeah, and you can still. I think in Arizona you can still find some decent 4-wheel drives.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's funny because like almost like the dualies. Blazers sometimes are either super primo or they're just beat the shit.
Right.
Out here in the desert, Montana too,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you'll find them, whether it's a Blazer, a Suburban. Suburbans were so popular back in the day here.
Right.
A second-gen Square, so to me, a square headlight, slope nose. You will see those Blazers even today rolling around PHX.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. So you got your extra cab.
Yep.
What else is on the bucket list for you?
I may have a line on a 71 factory 2-wheel drive Blazer. That is one of my bucket list trucks.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
Ooh, 71 too. 71
Yeah.
also. It's a low number. Yeah.
I'm really.
What would you do to that?
Everything's better lower, right?
24s, 22s.
20. I'm not a big wheel guy. I'm really into proportions. On that truck, probably 22s.
Mm-hmm.
22, something with a lip in the back, decent motor. Nothing really over the top. I'm a big advocate of a whole project. You know, you got these stock trucks out here with 10 grand with the wheels and tires. It doesn't do anything for me. But you got a truck that's got good paint on it and good fab work on it and detail-oriented layout and the wheels fit. That's what I really enjoy to look at. The little idiosyncrasies where something's different, but you got to kind of figure it out. The subtle details, the complexity of the vehicle in its entirety, not just one facet. That's what I enjoy.
Yeah, I mean that almost is the whole journey itself, right? Where it's not just I bought the whims and tires, the whims. I bought the whims, the wheels. I bought the whims, the wheels, and the tires. That's the whole journey.
Yeah.
So that obviously that speaks to you as a builder who I'm giving you my vehicle,
right?
And that speaks to you as an enthusiast because you're like, I don't just want to throw wheels and tires. Right. I want to build a journey. I want to write a book about this.
I want right. We're building something here that's going to be here theoretically after we're gone.
Yeah.
Whether it's just the memory or the concept.
It's funny because you talk about your legacy or the legacy to build, and I remember Dell telling me one time on an interview that I had with Delmo, and he's like, I try to build stuff so where if it ever got parked in the barn and they pulled it out 25, 50 years later, they would just be like, holy shit, right. Look at this. And when you talk about the journey, the build, the story, the whole thing, that's the type of stuff I think of. Yeah, from that perspective.
Well, it's like Herschel. We Brian and Chris got me involved on doing the 24s for Herschel, and when it was over here at the Get Down, I was just staring at that truck, and I was,
oh my god!
I mean, they did
stunning.
A fantastic job on it.
Yeah.
I mean, small cog and a huge machine there, but that 57 utility truck, what's that truck seen? Okay. How much food does it put on the table for God knows how many families?
So he's talking about Herschel, the HVAC truck that
the yellow one
Zaccardi built.
Yep.
And Herschel, Chris Driscoll owns that truck. That was been here in the PHX. It's been to a few get downs. And Brian did bring it out to LST and drove it.
Yeah, literally.
So Herschel it's an amazing truck.
Absolutely stunning. But to think about the lineage of that truck it's crazy.
Yeah.
What's like, we were talking earlier, my Bridgeport's from 1956. What's that cut?
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah.
I have a buddy with a lathe in his garage from 1902. 100 plus years. What is that lathe seen? What is that lathe cut?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
There's no GoPro on there. We can't download that SD card to look at everything that's done.
You know,
how long have you had that Bridgeport?
I've only had it for about 6 years now. I bought it from Bill at Kara's Customs in a box for like $1,500. It was, and then my buddy Andy Gert came over and we put it together, and that's how I cut my wheel bead seats.
Yeah,
that machine's running all day, every day.
Can you get parts for something like that?
Actually, there's a huge network for parts. Well, they didn't really change the design on those for
why would
forever.
You don't need
but
to.
I actually found a machine shop that makes direct replacement parts for all those old machines, and they're not horribly priced. And we actually ended up having to buy couple parts for him to get that thing running.
Yeah. Well, if that's down, you're.
Yeah. I mean, $1,500.
Yeah.
And that thing makes me.
It's paid for itself a few times over. But if it's down, then we're in trouble. All right, let's. What do we got here? We're definitely going to wrap it up here. So we're about. Well, we came in late, so we're definitely at our 2-hour mark, which is cool. Let's fire off a few more questions. Dad just bought a lathe from
Absolutely.
50s. It's badass.
All that old stuff.
We've got a machine shop here that's got some WW2 equipment. Oh, I mean, how badass?
It works.
Yeah, that's killer. Okay, guys, let me think of a few other, and I'll take you out. Okay, parts. I want to make sure we hit on parts. Sorry, I dropped some. What are your your parts?
We don't do a whole lot of retail. We're working. We're working into it. I've been making a dually conversion kit for the OBS generation trucks for.
So, like, bro, you just showed us.
Literally for like 15 years now. I do have some C30 stuff that is ready. I'm just so busy, and I know a lot of guys are asking about it. I appreciate your patience. Love you guys for the interest. I'm just not at a point. I have so much going on that I don't want to waste anybody's time or money or be that person. So it's about to be released. I got 2 more square bodies coming in. Greg's square body and then Waylon over there are about to get elevation changes. So,
okay, so a C30 kit.
Similar, it's similar to the OBS kit.
You're saying a square body
C30 kit.
dually kit.
Yep.
And what is that? That's like it'll
be upper
rear notch.
Well, just for the front now.
Front.
It's a front suspension system similar to the OBS stuff. So it's an upper and lower control arm. It's a little more involved because you got to do some more cutting. We do make the bracket that lines up in the factory holes, so it's idiot proof. But
okay.
Best laid tensions. And what that does is the same concept. It's a longer control arm with the single wheel hub that pulls the wheel in. We address the geometry issue, so you end up with like 2 or 3 degrees of cycle, or a degree of camber change through range. Actually, Billy's truck that you posted on today's come listen to us yammer on. We fine tune a lot of it on that truck.
Okay.
So, and he driving the piss out of me. Actually messaged me the other day.
What about Aaron's truck?
Aaron
Miller.
That was actually just a static drop. So
okay.
We make a bunch of static drop parts for that, but most of it's over the counter. So it'll be over the counter spindles and springs that we can provide you with, and then we make our own flip kit, axle perch, and underbed notch. I'm not a big advocate of the bolt-in stuff. It does work if it's installed correctly. The reality is most people don't install it correctly. And I'm not saying that they're doing it wrong. They're not being precise with the holes, so then you oversize the holes to bolt everything down. And then through the stresses that vehicle sees driving down the road, it's going to engage the slop in those holes.
So are you an advocate of, let's say you line it with that and then you back it up with a weld?
At a minimum, if you have a bolt-in notch, I highly recommend just welding the end of the seams. You don't have to weld it in all the way around. Just weld the end of it. Bolt-in long-term, I'm not a big fan.
Well, and really, if you're going to weld the end seams, just freaking weld it.
Right.
I mean, who cares? For me, even on Yellowstone, I was worried about moisture.
Right.
I'm like, dude, you get water flipping up around in there, and I'm like, let's just weld it up and knock it down.
Yeah, I make an 8-piece weld-in notch,
but not right now for availability unless it comes through.
The underbed notch, I do sell an underbed notch flip kit and static drop kits for the C20s or for the C30s and the OBS generation trucks.
All available on your website.
Yes. The 3/4 ton truck that we talked about early, I just developed a 6/8 drop for that. It's spindle springs, a myriad of over-the-counter parts along with some stuff that I make to get a 6/8 drop. I know there's some control arm kits out there that allow for that drop. I'm just not a big fan of the company.
What spindle do you recommend?
Anything name brand. So McGoy's, Western Chassis, Beltec. I ain't gonna lie, I've had good luck with Chassis Tech products. The spindles is about the only thing I'll use.
Yeah. So Ames and Chassis Tech, if you think about going way back, or if you just subscribe to any magazine.
Rods or Radical Tops. Radical Tops, yeah.
They are a mile from here.
Literally.
Right? Yeah, a mile. The track's right there, man. You can go get a pump, a tank, whatever you need. Ames is right there downtown Mesa.
And even better, Switches a mile up the road as well. I also want to address a couple things. Just so everybody knows.
Hey, that was his hand. Okay.
Switch suspension. Seth has been more than cordial to me, respectful to me, and at this juncture in time, they handle all my shipping. I've gotten a couple of weird calls about, I wanted your notch, not Switch's notch. So Switch, we have an amazing working relationship. Those guys are beautiful people. Tommy, Edgar, Seth.
Yeah.
They handle all my shipping. So if you see something from me that shows up with a Switch label, it's okay.
That's good. That's good to know. Well, tell them to put a Lowboy sticker on there or something.
Actually, Tom and I were talking about that too.
Yeah. I mean, just put a little Lowboy something on there. Yeah. Put your little dude. You know.
See what you're gonna offend?
Yeah. Put your little dude on there and put it on there. Or really rock a sticker. Somebody's gonna love that.
For sure.
I mean?
So it's one of those things where, going back to what we talked about between Jake, Seth at Switch, Caesar at Matador, just humbled to be able to call these guys my friends and be a team, man.
Yeah. Well, really, it's kind of the old takes a village to raise, right? So it takes a village, and once you find these guys that can help you paint, help you ship, help you powder coat, help you do it.
There's two things right. Well, that's the thing is,
why should you?
When you're young, you think you can, and then all of a sudden you hit your 30s, and you're like, oh, I'm worn out.
That was 6 or 7 or 8.
I think that's 7. So I don't know what the big over/under is.
Well, some of them were mine.
Right.
You got a couple bonuses.
But I think that the true definition of intelligence is your self-perception. How your actions affect those around you, and being able to bring a team together, and just again,
it's powerful.
It's a legacy, man.
Yeah, it's a powerful thing. You don't think you look at sports.
I mean, just talking about it, the few examples I had, like when we built my truck for SEMA. There's a picture. I'll try and find that picture and post it. But Leon, Jesse,
so
Rob.
You got your 87. You got to post. You got to post that.
Oh yeah,
your first
I got an old Army picture. I'm like 22 in that picture. So
your uniform.
The Army picture. The Army picture with my 87.
Yeah.
See, I got a SEMA picture from the dually, and then the build picture from that SEMA. Yeah.
So So to take you out, what's your favorite build that you've ever done so far? Been part of.
The one that's probably most notably is probably Brad's Excursion, Big Brown.
That thing's huge, man.
Yeah. No, it's a beautiful truck, and he's driven the piss out of that thing. And I've heard people tell me that if there's anything you can validate with the way that we build things, we build drivers. I want you to drive your truck. Safely, even more. I mean, he's been to Canada twice, Oregon a couple times. He's been to the East Coast. I think he put 25, 30 miles and 1,000 miles on that truck in a year and a half or two. And we got some plans coming in to bring her back, to bring the it's going to be badass. But I hate Fords. That's the downside.
Do you just hate Fords? Or you hate working on Fords, or both?
Ford engineers, I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Why are the body mounts on this side 22 mil and the body mounts on this side 24 mil? It doesn't make any sense the way they do some.
That's one thing about Chevy, man. You can bolt up some of that shit. You'll find an old part and you're like, that'll work.
Yep,
that'll work.
Make it work. The other thing that's crazy is if you look at, I can show you a pile of Dodge parts and a pile of Chevy parts, and you didn't look close.
Yeah.
They're really similar in their bolt structure and their design concepts. So transmissions and rear ends. So
it's funny when you think about that, and you look at a Chevy. And for me, sometimes I have to have a truck just so I can go back and reference it, right? Because my brain doesn't. I'm like, oh shit. Well, go back and look at it. You got a puzzle right there.
Yep.
Or I got a puzzle.
It's like doing drum brakes. You only take one side apart at a time.
Yeah. You got an answer key. I got a Cliff Notes right there. So, well, good. Anything else you want to share about Lowboy, the business, how to get a hold of you, what to do, what you expect the next 5 years, whatever?
I truly appreciate everybody's patience. I know a couple people I need to respond to, but my shop is 5 guys, and
as you can see, it's not empty.
No, it's not empty. We have a tremendous amount of work. We're doing the best we can. At the end of the day, we're only human, and my only goal is to facilitate your needs. So, best laid intentions. Sometimes stuff goes out a little later. If there's something wrong, it's always a priority of mine to rectify it. If anything's wrong, if anybody has an issue, feel free.
You're the customer service guy?
I'm here to help. I want people to have a win. I remember going to my son's basketball games, and they'd wipe out the other team, and they'd put their third string in, and they got this one kid shooting balls from half court. I want that kid to make it. I want that kid to have a win. I want him to experience that.
Yeah.
I want everybody to have a win at some juncture in life. It's not that serious.
Yeah, and if you
none of us get out alive.
I feel like sometimes even for an example for us is sometimes people feel like, it's like 2 days later, why don't I have my T-shirt or something? You're like, Are you being realistic right now? It's like, dude, we got other things to do. I mean, so be patient. Be patient.
I work 7 days a week.
Yeah.
Literally 7 days a week. I get up at 4:30, 5 o'clock every morning.
What are you doing after Tuesday?
Right.
What's a lead time on some of the parts and some of the stuff?
I'm trying to stay in that 4 to 6 week period, and we're doing pretty good right now. Even with everything that's going on, we really haven't.
So you're making your C notches here?
We make everything here.
Okay.
Plasma table. We cut our own notches. We got our jigs for our control arms. Like I say, we're a fab shop. We make stuff.
Cool.
I don't know if that's good or bad again.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna have to wait on something's being made. It's not coming across the ocean, like
right. It's the industry has become a little modular in my opinion, and that's great. The development and the evolution of things.
More like the aftermarket.
Yeah.
But
you can build the C10 and bolt it together. You can literally bolt the C10 together.
But the other thing though that helps with is that there's guys that make parts that can make a living out of making parts.
For sure.
And retire making parts.
It's between social media. I think social media on a positive has really opened our eyes to what other people are doing. I mean, 20 years ago we were blind to our existence and thinking we were the end all be all. Well, all of a sudden this kid out of nowhere posts up this and nobody's original enough to have an independent thought. So if you can take something and make it a little better, or learn from it, or learn from each other, man. I mean, we're all in this together.
Well, and the guy that thinks that the other guy can't finds out real quick. Right. Like, oh, I thought I was the the big man on campus. It's like, listen,
if you or I thought of it, there's how many billions of people in this world? Somebody's thought of it.
I just love it when it's like, well, I'm the only one that can think of it. It's like, oh no, that's mine. Oh, that's mine. Oh, that's mine. We're a copycat world. And C10s are, I mean, whether that's good, bad, or ugly, they're a copycat truck. Because people love them. They love the style and they love them.
There's nothing driving a square body. Lowered, bagged,
Yeah.
Just you get in and drive like an asshole.
Yeah. All right, guys. Todd, thanks for your service. Thanks for your time.
I appreciate the opportunity, Ronnie. I appreciate everybody that chimed in.
I don't think we have anything left on the YouTubes, and
fucking Tanner.
Yeah. Come on, Tam.
7, 8.
What do you got? We're gonna take you out, dude. You coming in?
Pick up.
We're gonna take him out. Oh, drinking that beer.
What up?
Hey, you running those? Are those used Alcoas on your truck or what?
Absolutely not. I learned my lesson.
They're round now too.
Yeah, you had to bring them over to Lowboy to take them out of square.
No, I threw those things away and saved everyone the trouble. But he did dial me in on the sentence on my semi right now, though.
What are you working on right now?
What was that?
What are you working on right there?
You working on my stereo box? Shit.
Right after this is out of the ground.
Oh, I got you. Tomorrow, right? There'll be nothing tomorrow?
Yeah, I got that. No, I'm working on this 59 Apache.
That's pretty nice Apache, dude. What's he running in the rear there? Those are huge. What's a chassis?
That's that Lab Ranch guy out of Oregon.
Rideman Ranch.
Oh, Rideman Ranch.
Yeah.
Oh, that's, yeah.
Bill Hardline's, airlift, of course, because that other stuff's junk. It's been junk since day one.
Out of business.
Customer service will get you that every time.
Every time.
Oh, that's
going down the rabbit hole now.
There we try to stay away from it the whole time.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a clean out.
That's a beautiful truck.
Yeah. So what's going on with Todd's sound system?
Listen, what happened was.
No.
Well, you have a little bit of reprieve because the dually goes to paint next week.
Hold on. So what's going on with Todd's sound system here?
Uh-oh.
Just a one-man show around here. Todd's seen it before.
Yes, sir.
Just a little bit of everything going on here.
Oh, my God. Look at you.
Keeps the demons at bay, huh?
Another chassis. Another board. This is the one that Tanner Radfab just did a bunch of sheet metal work on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, see, it's funny how they got all those guys up there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know what? That's the wagon right there. That's what's up.
What is that, like a Volvo or some shit?
Nobody cares.
No, it's a 63 Rambler American.
Oh, Rambler.
Yeah, full chassis, and it'll get an LS also. But
I'm already.
You go back over.
I'm already sleeping. You're talking Rambler, and you got a C10 in my face. Come on.
Oh, yeah, you want that? You can have that too. That's for sale.
Somebody chopped that top a little bit.
Yeah, that's the one that Hubcap did.
Dude, that thing's.
Work on this one.
Yeah, we converted to a rack and pinion on that over Christmas time.
Yeah, this is Todd's stereo right here.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah, it doesn't go very loud.
But, yeah.
What chassis is that? Is that another Rideman chassis?
No, that's one that I built myself. This is going under the Ford.
Cool.
For a club member out of Washington.
63 Ford? What year is that Ford?
Yeah, 60-something or another. I don't know. I'm not a Ford guy.
Yeah, it is tough. Tough to tell.
Yeah, exactly. I just got one scattered in my backyard.
You got a lot of shit scattered.
Have you met Tanner?
So.
Oh, yeah. That's why I like it. I like it like that. Makes me feel good.
Well, yeah, I had a buyer lined up for the C10, but
money.
That kind of fell through with the Corolla pandemic. So
yeah, the Corolla, the Adam Corolla pandemic. I don't know, man. I feel like everybody's telling me, and that's one thing I didn't even ask you, but everybody seems like they're just cranking. Like they're having their busiest months, and like April, May have just been really, really amazing months for most guys that I've talked to.
Yeah, it's even at the other shop where I work at, we been slammed for years. So.
That truck is killer, dude. That is a beautiful truck.
This is I talked to Spencer today. This is the 4th chassis that he built, and we just got another one up here for Arlo's 55. And that'll be this one's leaving back to Washington. This one's leaving back to Washington in 2 weeks. Then it's on the Todd's truck, then on the Ford, then Arlo's. So.
Well, like I say, you have I talked over you, but you have a little bit of a reprieve because the red dually goes to paint next week. So you got 3-4 weeks.
Nice.
You're welcome.
That is well, that's good. I'll be in Washington then. So.
Oh wow, this is my surprise face.
Yeah.
This is, that one right there. That one there. That's when I first met Todd. Started talking to Todd. Back. Shit. When was that? Probably.
We were in our 30s, or I was in my 30s.
Yeah. Right. Me too. But,
somebody's getting older here. I don't know which one of us it is.
Yes.
Yeah. But none of us are growing up. So.
No.
That would be no fun.
Right. Right.
We're think about it this way, Tanner. We're sitting around drinking beer, talking trucks over the interweb, and having a good damn time doing it.
Not a bad
day.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, so.
I tell you what, that guy sitting next to you, Ronnie, he's got to be the hardest working dude in the valley. Every time I stop by, it's asses and elbows over there. And
things to see and people to do.
He's got a little thing. That's why he's got such a narrow driveway, Tanner. He's got a little thing when all the guys come. He's like, "You guys get to work. People are coming."
No shit.
Now the guys probably have a little GoPro up there so they can see me coming in. All right, hustle up.
Oh, yeah, hustle up.
Yeah, they got tracking on
why do you think there's cameras in this shop?
Yeah,
send a little text, hey, get off the phone.
It's one of those little freaking those little cords. It's like a trip cord, but it's an alarm. It says, "Get to work, get to work."
Pretty much.
Right.
What about old freaking Hoagie Shine? That dude ain't no slacker.
Dude, I was just there today. I wired up a 55 for him. Man, I don't know. It might be a toss-up between Dan and Todd.
I don't know, man. He's got Dan's got young kids, so he's working at home too.
Right.
Whereas Todd's got his kids working for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have a choice. Those sons of bitches.
Yeah. No, he pays them. He gives them a 1% or 3%. He gives Shine gets a 0.5%. Yeah, they're killing it.
Free ass
yeah,
kickings.
Tristan, I was talking to Tristan. They gave him a hard time. I said,
well. Oh, and
bye, Tanner.
Yeah, it does that. Goes out. Delete. I have to come back and be like, what the hell? So let's go like this. All right, YouTube, we're wrapping it up. We're done. Thanks. Say thanks.
Thank you.
YouTube, we're out. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm going to let the guys know on InstaWiener we're out. Have a great week and happy Memorial Day.
Stay humble.
Stay humble. Stay safe.
Real.